Chapter 495. Okay, go ahead. The person who tried to assassinate Gu Lingqing shouldn't be Sheng Dongqing's man. I heard Sheng Dongqing contacting the people in the military today, asking them to find out who tried to assassinate Gu Lingqing. He was furious and said that he was framed. He must find the person who framed him and cut off his head to kick it like a ball. I don't think he's acting, Su Jiran reminded her. I already know about it. I'm also asking people to investigate. If it weren't for my friend's reminder, I might have been fooled. The person behind this is even more scheming than Sheng Dongqing. By the way, thank you. If it weren't for your address, we wouldn't have been able to rescue Xiaoning, Bai Ye said in a businesslike manner. Hearing her tone, Su Jiran felt as if a clear spring had poured into his heart. It could drive away the filth and make him feel refreshed. He remembered that in the past, Bai Ye had always been harsh with him. Now he was satisfied with this change. I killed you once, so I'm living for you now, Su Jiran confessed. Bai Ye was silent for 10 seconds. Su Jiran didn't hang up either. What are you going to do with Aling? Bai Ye asked. After all, Aling was her distant relative. I've already broken up with her, but she's been very close to my mother recently. She's still a kid, Su Jiran said in a deep voice. Su Jiran, I'm very grateful for everything you've done for me, but I don't love you anymore. It's impossible for us to be together. If you find a girlfriend, you should be able to find someone who loves you and who you love, Bai Ye suggested. I'm tired of playing the game of love. What I want is a soulmate. I don't want to live a messy life like before. If I can't find one, I won't look for one. Didn't you already have sex with her? Bai Ye was a little angry. When I first saw her face, I was so excited that I thought she was you. But she's not you, not my type. I will cut all ties with her, and won't waste her time and feelings. Don't worry, Su Jiran promised. You've been fooling around for so many years. Can't you find a girl to fall in love with? There are many women in this world who are understanding and love you. For example, Zhou Hailan. She truly loves you. Let's not talk about this topic. Just like how I told you not to love Gu Lingqing. How could you not love her? Gu Lingqing's personality is so boring. He doesn't like to talk, and he's always been cool. What's so good about him? He doesn't know how to make girls happy, right? Su Jiran asked back. Bai Ye smiled. Love, this kind of thing is really strange. What others think is unworthy, may be loved very much. Others felt that they were a good match, but the person in question did not respond. Everyone has a different sense of beauty. Some people like thin ones, some like fat ones, some like handsome ones, and some like ugly ones. As long as you love openly and live confidently, you don't have to care about other people's opinions and opinions. After all, you have read the story of the grandfather and grandson, and the donkey when you were young. If you care too much about other people's opinions, you will lose yourself. Alright, it's your life. Live it well. I'll hang up first. I'm very tired today. Good night. Good night, Su Jiran said. Bai Ye was about to hang up when Su Jiran shouted anxiously, Wait. There's one more thing. You stayed at Su Zheng's house for a long time yesterday, right? Su Jiran asked. He knew that he just wanted to listen to her voice more. Yes. What did Sheng Dongqing say? Bai Ye asked and sat down on the sofa. Sheng Dongqing suspects that Su Zheng is in cahoots with you. He's angry that Su Zheng didn't vote for him. But I know that with Su Zheng's temper, it's difficult for him to be with you. You purposely stayed at Su Zheng's house for more than 5 hours to make Sheng Dongqing misunderstand, right? Su Jiran guessed. She was glad that Su Jiran helped her. Otherwise, with Su Jiran's intelligence, Sheng Dongqing wouldn't be fooled. You helped me so much. Did Sheng Dongqing suspect you? Bai Ye was worried. Su Jiran chuckled. It felt good to be cared for by Bai Ye. It was as if he had the whole world. Sheng Dongqing didn't trust me 2 years ago. He's always suspicious. He didn't tell me where Ning was imprisoned. I found it myself. How could he suspect me? Su Jiran said confidently. That's good. Bai Ye glanced at the porridge. I really have to hang up. Otherwise the porridge will get cold. I'll treat you to a meal to thank you after we get rid of Sheng Dongqing. Okay then, good night. Sweet dreams. Good night. Bai Ye hung up the phone. She finished the porridge and cleaned herself up. Then she climbed onto the bed and fell asleep. She had a dream. She dreamed of Gu Lingqing and Xiao Yan. The family of 3 was playing in the yard. She saw a snake and chased it away. The next moment, she saw Xiao Yan with his tongue in his mouth. He was bitten by the snake. She was worried that the snake was poisonous. The snake was black. Gu Lingqing said that the snake was not poisonous. She was worried, so she caught the snake and cut it into 2. The snake was still alive and wanted to escape. She smashed the snake's head. Only after she was sure that the snake was dead did she feel relieved. It started to rain heavily. The scene in her mind returned to the orphanage where she stayed when she was young. There was a well in the yard of the orphanage. She remembered that the water in the well was very sweet. At that time, the conditions of the orphanage were very poor. There was no fridge. The mother of the orphanage bought a big watermelon and put it in a bucket. The bucket was placed on top of the well. When they ate the watermelon at night, the watermelon was cold and very sweet. The children in the orphanage would enjoy the cool breeze on the rooftop. The mother of the orphanage knew how to build a lot of beds. She even made a mosquito net for the children to play in the tent. Telling stories, guessing riddles, singing, counting stars, that kind of feeling was warm and happy. There was no burden or pressure. Although they didn't have parents, they were happy and not lonely. Baya opened her eyes and saw a dark shadow rummaging through something in her room. She closed her eyes quietly. If the other party wanted to kill her, he would have done it long ago. He wouldn't have waited until now. But who was he? Why was he rummaging through things in her house? She had a lot of bodyguards here. Aning was also observing in the dark. There was also Heaven's Eye. How did he come in? Why wasn't he discovered? In addition, what was he looking for? Suddenly, she felt the other party's breath approaching her. His breath was on her face. He was observing her at a close distance. She tried to calm herself down. Her eyelashes didn't tremble. She pretended to be asleep and breathed evenly. The moment she opened her eyes, she would definitely die. That person had been observing her for more than 5 minutes. Baya felt her lips soften. Chapter 496. That person? She felt very familiar. It was not Alan, not Su Jieran. It seemed that it was not Gu Lingqing either. Gu Lingqing didn't need to search or hide anything from her. Who was it? Baya opened her eyes. There was no one in the room. She turned on the light and looked around. There was no trace of the room being searched. Was it a dream? That dream was way too realistic. She called Zhang Xingyu. Hello, boss. Zhang Xingyu said in a daze. I am not your boss. I am Baya. Can you ask the Sky Eye if they have recorded anyone breaking into the manor? Baya asked. What? Someone broke into the manor? Zhang Xingyu woke up. Ask them. Baya said. Okay, I will ask them now. Zhang Xingyu hung up. Baya held the phone and waited for the news. If they didn't capture anyone, was that person in the manor? It couldn't be Sheng Dongqing's people. If it was Sheng Dongqing's people, they should know that the person on the plane was a dummy. Could it be the group of people who tried to assassinate Gu Lingqing in the military? Then why did that person kiss her? The more Baya thought about it, the more numb her scalp became. She got up from the bed, went into the bathroom, and brushed her teeth. Her phone rang. She went out to answer it. Well, madam, there is no video of anyone entering the manor. There is a 360-degree surveillance camera. Zhang Xingyu reported. There are only me, my mom, Wang Ma, and Lin Shulan in the villa. Did the Sky Eye capture anyone else entering the villa? Baya asked. I asked just now, no. What's wrong, madam? Zhang Xingyu asked worriedly. Baya frowned, turned around, and looked at the tidy room. Could it be that she was so tired that she was hallucinating? Got it. Thanks for your hard work. Baya hung up and looked at her phone. It was only 3 in the morning. She turned on the TV and watched it casually, but her head was dizzy and she couldn't watch it anymore. She got up, put on her clothes, and went to the library to read. She flipped through the books casually, but she couldn't read any of them. She was annoyed by that kiss. Finally, at 6 o'clock, Wang Ma got up to make breakfast. She called cold marketing. Madam. Leng Chuan's voice sounded like he had been awake for a long time. Let's go to the island as soon as possible. I want to see Gu Lingqing as soon as possible, Baiya said in a deep voice. Madam, the chief disappeared in the wee hours of yesterday, Lung Ying said in a low voice. What? Gone? Where did he go? Baiya was surprised and asked anxiously. His heart was stretched taut. I don't know, but he's awake. If he wants to leave, no one will dare to stop him. He's awake? What do you mean? Baiya frowned. The chief was in a coma before. Yesterday he walked out of the base, but he didn't tell anyone where he went. I'm also very worried now. I'm looking for him with the third eye, but I haven't found him yet, Lung Chuan said worriedly. Baiya was stunned for a while, sorting out the information in her mind. In other words, Gu Lingqing had been in a coma before. He woke up in the wee hours of yesterday and left the base. Was it Gu Lingqing who was in her room yesterday? If so, since the third eye didn't capture him, did it mean that there was a secret passage in this room? She remembered that she had suggested to Gu Lingqing to prepare a secret passage. Firstly, the third eye couldn't capture it. Secondly, she could go wherever she wanted and there would be no traffic jam. However, if it was Gu Lingqing who was in the room yesterday, why didn't he look for her directly? Moreover, the feeling of the person yesterday was familiar to her, but it was not Gu Lingqing's. I see. Look carefully and don't make a sound. Gu Lingqing never does things recklessly. He must have his reasons, Baiya said in a low voice. Are you still going to the island today? Lung Chuan asked. I've already told Shinian. Since Gu Lingqing has left the base, he should come to me. I don't have to go to him. I'll follow the procedure. I'll go to the island today, stay there for a day tomorrow, and come back the day after tomorrow, Baiya said. Okay. I'll send a plane to pick you up after I'm done here, Lung Chuan said and hung up. Baiya went back to her room and opened all the cabinets. What on earth was that person looking for? If he didn't find it, he would probably come again. She called Zhang Xingyu. Zhang Xingyu, I need you to do something for me. Remember, don't tell anyone. Okay. What is it? I won't tell anyone, Zhang Xingyu said with certainty. Help me install pinhole cameras in my house and link them to my computer. Also, share a copy to my phone, Baiya ordered. Remember, don't let anyone find out. And don't tell anyone, even if it's cold, Baiya reminded. Okay. I understand. Well, will the anti-surveillance cameras call the police? Baiya thought of this problem. Don't worry. I'm the one who installed the anti-surveillance cameras. Only I know the password. I can set it to be a security camera. Then there won't be a problem. Okay, please. Baiya lay back on the bed and let her imagination run wild. She fell asleep again in a daze. She was woken up by her phone. Seeing that it was a cold call, she sat up and answered. Ma'am, the plane will arrive in half an hour. The ashes are here. Okay, Baiya answered. She got up, washed up again and went out. Zhang Xingyu was already there. He said to Baiya, didn't you say that there was something wrong with your phone? Let me take a look at it. Oh, you know how to look at your phone? Lin Shulan said sarcastically. Zhang Xingyu winked at Lin Shulan. I know a lot. Lin Shulan seemed to have thought of something. She blushed and pushed Zhang Xingyu. Come to my study, Baiya said. Is it time for breakfast? Wang Ma asked respectfully. Baiya nodded. I'll come in 5 minutes. Thank you, Wang Ma. Wang Ma smiled. It's no trouble. It's my pleasure. She walked into the study and passed the phone to Zhang Xingyu. Zhang Xingyu installed the software and said, Everything is installed, including Ma'am's room. You were sleeping, so I didn't wake you up. The bathroom is not installed. Baiya looked at the phone screen. You're quite efficient. No wonder Gu Lingqing likes to keep you by his side. Ma'am, please set the password. This password is connected to the computer. The phone needs to be connected to the internet first. But because it's connected to the computer, you can watch the previous recordings. Zhang Xingyu passed the phone to Baiya. Baiya set the password and passed the phone to Zhang Xingyu. I installed it in every room here, including the library. When you open it, the screen will look like this. Zhang Xingyu passed the phone to Baiya. Baiya looked at the phone screen. There were a total of 9 bars. Chapter 497. If you want to see a room in detail, just click on the room, for example. Zhang Xingyu pointed at the study. Then in the upper right corner of the screen, you can view the ones that are within an hour, within a day, or within 3 days. The advantage of this option is that it will pick out the most moving images. A moving image? What do you mean? Baiya didn't understand. For example, if there is no one in a room, will it be a static image? If there are people or animals in the room, there will be a dynamic image. This can be picked out, Zhang Xingyu explained. Oh, that's pretty good. I have another question. When I'm not at home, can anyone turn on the computer and watch the entire recording? Baiya asked worriedly. First of all, the computer needs a password. Secondly, this software also needs a password. Let's put it this way. Your phone is equivalent to an encrypted dog. Even if you want to view the video on the computer, you need to scan it with your phone. Baiya understood. That's good. Madam, Zhang Xingyu said hesitantly. Is it because you think that the guards outside aren't good enough? Is that why you installed this? No. Baiya did not want them to worry. If one day, someone breaks in and assassinates me, I have evidence. But don't tell anyone about this. I know. You've told me many times. I definitely won't tell anyone. Zhang Xingyu said with certainty. This time, Baiya went out for breakfast. After breakfast, she heard the sound of a plane approaching. She went back to her room to prepare some clothes, put on a thick coat, and went out. Leng Shuang was already there, and he even brought a Taoist priest with him. Baiya boarded the helicopter. The ashes were fake, and the urn was in the box. After Baiya boarded the plane, Zhang Xingyu and Lin Shulan boarded it. It was very noisy on the plane. Baiya did not speak. He curled up in the corner, and thought about what he had seen in the middle of the night. He also thought about how Gu Lingqing had left the base. His brows furrowed more and more tightly. The feeling of not knowing anything was the worst. It was irritating. After flying for more than an hour, Baiya saw their room on the island. A house was just a house. It had no temperature to begin with. It was only because of certain people that it felt especially warm. Now that Gu Lingqing was not here, everything she saw was cold. After alighting from the plane, the Taoist priest performed the ritual first, and then reburied the body. Lin Shulan brought the ingredients and was cooking in the kitchen. Baiya lay on the bed and looked at her phone. She looked at the status of each room. When she reached the library, she really saw a person flipping through something. His heart tightened. He sat up and stared at the person on the screen. That person rummaged through the books in an orderly manner. He placed the items where he took them and did not mess up the slightest bit. He is still in the library. Should she let the shadows lurking around catch him? Because the camera was mounted on the door frame, she couldn't see the person's face clearly. She could only see the top of his head. She watched patiently. After an hour, the man looked at the door. Baiya immediately blocked the screen. Lingqing. It's really Gu Lingqing. Although she was a little confused, but that facial features, that outline, it couldn't be wrong. What was he rummaging through at home? Baiya got up from the bed and walked around the room. She was in high spirits. It was confirmed that Gu Lingqing was fine. He was still alive. She stopped and grinned. She looked at the phone and confirmed again. It was Gu Lingqing. However, Gu Lingqing didn't tell her. Was he worried about revealing his whereabouts? What was he looking for? Baiya gradually calmed down. She sat back on the bed and clicked on the video again. Gu Lingqing was not there. Unexpectedly, it was Nurse Wang who entered the library. She was also rummaging through something. Baiya furrowed her brows. Ever since the incident with Xiao Xian, she had not liked Nurse Wang very much. She went to the library to rummage through something. Now there was only Nurse Wang at home. She was really unscrupulous. Zhang Xingyu. Baiya shouted. Zhang Xingyu didn't respond. Baiya guessed that he didn't hear her. She opened the door and shouted downstairs, Zhang Xingyu. Here. Zhang Xingyu's voice was heard. I'm coming. He ran up the stairs, and soon he was in front of her. Baiya turned on the surveillance and showed it to Zhang Xingyu. F***CK. What is she looking for? There's something wrong with this person. Zhang Xingyu had a bad feeling and looked at Baiya. Baiya nodded. I'll send him away today. I don't want anyone else to know about the surveillance. When you go back today, pay attention to her and catch her in the act. She can't stay in the villa anymore. Got it? Zhang Xingyu glanced at the screen and said angrily. Baiya called Nurse Wang. Nurse Wang picked up. Young madam, what can I do for you? Help me do something. I'll send you an address later. Help me get a document. Remember, don't open it and don't give it to anyone. You must leave it on my bedside table. Baiya ordered. All right. I'll do it now. I'll send the address to your phone later. Baiya hung up and called Alan. Alan, help me do something. I'll give my old servant the address of your factory later. Give her a document. The document can be blank. How do we know if she has opened it? That's easy. Just put a barcode on the seal. Once it's opened, we'll know immediately. What's the covert method I want? Baiya asked. You want to test if she will peek? Alan asked. Yes. I think there's something wrong with this person. I've already told her not to open it. I want to know if she will open it or not. That's easy. As long as the paper is processed, it will oxidize when it comes into contact with air. Then we'll know if she has opened it or not. That's a good idea. Please do it for me. Sure. Are you at home now? Alan asked. No. I'm on the island. I have some things to deal with. What's wrong? I'm already preparing for the thing you want me to do. Also, Su Jiran drove a Ling out. It's the first time that a Ling has been rejected by a man. Her pride can't take it anymore. She's throwing a tantrum at home now. I don't know where she found out about it. She's very similar to you. She's your substitute. Alan said worriedly. Does she know that she's similar to Baiya or Wu Nian? Does she know that Baiya is Wu Nian? Baiya asked. She knows. As for how she knows, I don't know. She's very fierce and curses at you. A Ling is still a child. If she comes to you, please forgive her. Her mood comes and goes quickly, Alan reminded. Chapter 498. Zhang Xingyu watched as Baiya hung up the phone. He asked, It's almost time for dinner. Do you want to go downstairs? Chief Lung and I will go back tonight. But it's too dangerous for you and Lin Shulan to stay here. Chief Lung left a team of soldiers here. Thank you. There are wolves, tigers, and leopards in the forest. Let them guard the house. The roof is a good place to guard. Did you bring tents and blankets? Although it's hotter here than on land, it's still cold at night. Baiya reminded him. Well, we soldiers are not afraid of hardships or the cold. The cold can train our willpower. Zhang Xingyu said tactfully. When the enemy comes, they'll be frozen stiff. Even if their willpower is tempered, we'll still be dead. There are 2 empty rooms here. Leave 4 people to guard the roof. The rest of you can rest in the rooms. I'll help them make beds on the floor. We can only make do with the blankets. Zhang Xingyu nodded his head and praised. If you stayed in the ancient times, you would definitely be a great general. Those who win the hearts of the people will win the world. Baiya's lips twitched. She was a little sad. What does the world mean to me? My dream is just him. Zhang Xingyu knew that Baiya was talking about Gu Lingqing. He looked at her worriedly. Don't be sad. A good person will be rewarded. A person like Chief Lung will definitely go to heaven. Let's go down and eat first. Call the soldiers. Leave 4 of them in shifts. Remember to move the 4 of them aside. Don't miss out on their share. Yes. Zhang Xingyu saluted. Baiya smiled. These people were really cute. No wonder Gu Lingqing wanted to stay and protect them. Her nose was a little dry. She didn't want Zhang Xingyu to see that she was in a bad mood. She turned and walked out of the door. Lin Shulan was still busy in the kitchen. She cooked a pot of rice. There was another pot for cooking. She had already cooked a big pot of cabbage stew, braised pork and soy sauce, braised fish and soy sauce, and green vegetables with mushrooms. The pot was now cooking radish and spare rib soup. The bowl was very large, with a diameter of 50 centimeters. Sorry to keep you busy. Let me light the fire, Baiya said embarrassedly. There's no rush. Zhang Xingyu was helping to light the fire earlier. This is the last dish. We'll be able to eat it soon, said Lin Shulan with a smile. You're pretty smart. Your martial arts are good, you're pretty, and you know how to cook. Whoever marries you will definitely be very happy. Baiye praised. Lin Shulan blushed as he looked at Zhang Xingyu. I think whoever marries her will be unlucky. She's so fierce, beating up her husband every day. She must be living a miserable life. Zhang Xingyu disagreed. Lin Shulan rolled his eyes at him. You should take care of yourself. You can't even find a girlfriend, and you still want to laugh at other men getting beaten up by their wives. What a joke. I'll be beaten up every day. I'll just be single for the rest of my life. Zhang Xingyu retorted. You. Lin Shulan pursed his lips and thought for a while. Then he said angrily, You're not allowed to eat the food I cook. Zhang Xingyu. Hee, I'm just joking. In my eyes, you're the prettiest and have a good figure. You can also protect your family and increase the military strength of your family. Whoever marries you is really lucky. Zhang Xingyu corrected himself. Are you serious? Lin Shulan looked at him. Haha, you're more real than Huang Jinjin. You cook. I'll go get them for dinner. Zhang Xingyu slipped out of the kitchen. Lin Shulan was so angry that he stuffed a stick of firewood into the stove. Baiye poured a glass of water and looked at Lin Shulan. You like Zhang Xingyu? Who likes him? He's so heartless and he doesn't look like much. Lin Shulan said in annoyance. Zhang Xingyu is smart and meticulous. He's smart and good at martial arts. He's still young and he looks good. In another 2 years, he'll definitely achieve great things. Moreover, he's a person that gives people a sense of security. If you become his wife, you'll be very happy. Baiye said seriously. Baiye said seriously. Lin Shulan pursed his lips and lowered his eyes. If you like him, just tell him. I seem to have heard him say that he hasn't had a girlfriend yet. So he'll be a little slow when it comes to relationships. Moreover, there's been too many things happening recently. He naturally won't think about those things. Baiye suggested. Then we'll talk about it later. Lin Shulan lowered his head. The light from the fire dyed her face red. Youthful and ignorant. That feeling was quite good. Let me arrange the dishes. They should be here soon. Baiye said and drank the water in the blanket. Let me do it. Madam, just watch the fire for me. Once I'm done arranging the dishes, I'll bring them out. Lin Shulan said. Oh right. Zhang Xingyu said that Leng Shuo left a team of people here. How many people are there in a team? Baiye asked casually. 100. Baiye. You said that Leng Shuo left 100 people here? Baiye was surprised. She thought that there were only 20 of them. Commander Leng is very concerned about Madam. In fact, Commander Leng follows Madam's lead. So do we. So Madam, you must take care of yourself. If there are 100 people, your food won't be enough. Baiye said worriedly. I still have a lot of ingredients on my boat. I'll get Zhang Xingyu to bring them over with me later. They'll eat in 3 shifts. I'll cook when they're eating. If there's not enough food, I'll make up for it, Lin Shulan explained. I have a lot of wild boar meat on my boat. There's also the cured meat that I made. I'll bring them over. You can add more food for them. They'll stay here for another day tomorrow. Baiye said and stood up. Then, thanks to Madam, we can eat wild boar. Lin Shulan did not refuse anymore. Baiye went out and called Zhang Xingyu. Together, they went to the boat to get the frozen meat. There are a lot of crabs on this island. This is the best time to eat them. Tomorrow morning, you can send a few soldiers to the beach to catch crabs. They'll be able to catch a bucket in no time. We'll eat crabs for lunch. Although the seawater here is not polluted, we still have to cook the crabs before eating. Baiye said to Zhang Xingyu on the way back. Yes, now that I'm here, I finally understand why the chief would rather spend time with you here than return to the military. This place is like heaven. I'll look for you when I find a girlfriend in the future. Is that okay? Zhang Xingyu asked honestly. Baiye smiled. It's a pleasure to have friends visiting from afar. If you like it, you can stay here for a month or 2. Let me tell you, there are many surprises in the forest. Nature's gifts are the best gifts. Chapter 499. You're right. I want to live here for the rest of my life. It's great to be your neighbor. Zhang Xingyu sighed. I'll be more at ease if you go hunting with Gu Lingqing. Your wife and I will cook, do the laundry, do the housework, and take care of the kids. We'll wait for you guys to come back. After dinner, we can take a walk on the beach. At night, we can watch the stars or play online games. Baya said happily. Zhang Xingyu looked at the smile on Baya's face in a daze. The chief was dead and wouldn't be coming back. Such a beautiful thing could only be left in his memory. However, he didn't want to break this beautiful moment. We can also play cards and mahjong together. The chief is very good at playing cards. He used to be invincible in the military. Zhang Xingyu followed up on Baya's topic. Does Gu Lingqing know how to play cards? He rarely plays with me. Baya didn't know about this. This is for men to play with men. Besides, it'll only be fun if there are 4 to 5 people. Zhang Xingyu walked to the door and pushed it open. Baya saw that there were already 35 soldiers eating. It was orderly and there was no sound at all. Zhang Xingyu took the ingredients from the fridge and handed them to Lin Shulan. Madam, you should eat first. I've prepared something else for you. Lin Shulan said. No, I'm not hungry. I'll eat with you guys. Baya rejected and looked at Zhang Xingyu. Bring 2 people and me to the ship. Bring the blankets and mattresses down. Okay. Zhang Xingyu agreed readily. After a while, Baya brought all the blankets and mattresses on the ship. She covered the floor with wooden planks. There was a layer of licorice on top of the planks. There was a mattress on top of the licorice and a blanket. There were too many people here, and they didn't bring any mattresses or blankets. They had to be particular about what they used. She did the same in another room. I'm sorry, I can only prepare these 2 rooms for you. I don't have enough blankets and mattresses, Baya said to Zhang Xingyu. That's enough. The conditions here are very good. We can eat and sleep well, and it won't be a problem to squeeze 30 to 40 people into one room. As for the rest, we'll take turns to guard the place, Zhang Xingyu said. Well, let's go. We'll help Lin Shulan cook. She can't do it alone, Baya said and went downstairs. I'll talk to their captain first. He'll make the necessary arrangements, said Zhang Xingyu. Sorry to trouble you. When Baya entered the kitchen, the first group of people had already eaten and left. The second group of people were still eating. Lin Shulan was chopping vegetables. Let me light the fire. Baya walked to the stove and put the wood in. Madam, I've already cooked the rice. It should be enough. The pork rib soup is also ready. I'll cook cabbage stew with fresh meat and tomato scrambled eggs. Okay. Are you hungry? Do you want to eat something first? After all, Xiaobao's baby needs to eat too, suggested Lin Shulan. Baya really felt a little hungry. She didn't refuse again. Okay. Lin Shulan brought out a bowl of red braised pork, a bowl of red braised fish, and a bowl of cabbage stew. They were all fresh. You don't have to deliberately separate them. It's okay, said Baya. The soldiers eat very quickly. Moreover, it gets cold easily if it's placed there. You're not in good health, so I stewed them in the pot, explained Lin Shulan. Thank you. Lin Shulan scooped a bowl of rice for Baya. She didn't know whether it was because she was pregnant or because she was hungry. It was more likely to be related to her mood. She ate 1.5 bowls of rice and was full. All the soldiers finished eating. It was already 9 o'clock in the evening. Leng Shuai introduced the company commander and the 3 platoon commanders to Baya. After telling Baya that she could order them to do whatever she wanted, he and Zhang Xingyu took the plane and left. Baya prepared to go back to the kitchen to help Lin Shulan wash the dishes. She had already washed them and was dissecting the vegetables. Baya went forward to help her dissect the vegetables. I can do it alone. Madam, rest early, Lin Shulan said immediately. I've slept for the whole morning. I'm not sleepy now. Let me help you, said Baya. She picked up the scissors and cut the roots of the spinach. She glanced at the vegetables on the ground. What are you going to cook for lunch tomorrow? There's plenty of time tomorrow. I've cooked enough rice tonight. I'll get up in the morning and cook more than 100 eggs. Then, I'll cook 2 pots of porridge and ready-made salted vegetables. For lunch, I'll prepare braised pork, cabbage stew with bacon, tomato eggs, spinach, radish and pork rib soup, and stir-fried carrots with bacon. We should be going back in the afternoon, right? Asked Lin Shulan. I've asked them to catch crabs. We can also cook a crab for them at noon. It'll be very delicious after being boiled with soy sauce and vinegar. It seems that thanks to you, they're here on vacation, hee, laughed Lin Shulan. Not really. They still have to stand guard in the cold at night. It's very tiring. As for going back, let's do it at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, said Baya. Then we've prepared enough ingredients. There's no need to send them over. Let everyone eat together tomorrow so that we don't have to eat in shifts. You'll be lucky too. We only need 4 people to stand guard. The food for the 4 of them can be steamed in the pot in case it gets cold, said Baya. Okay, I'll talk to their company commander tomorrow. Madam, you can go back and rest. I'm done here. I have plenty of time to prepare after breakfast tomorrow. Okay, I'll come over tomorrow to help you. Baya stood up. You're the most down-to-earth leader's wife I've ever seen, sighed Lin Shulan. Down-to-earth. Perhaps it had something to do with her birth. She was never high and mighty, nor did she bow and scrape to anyone. She was equal to everyone and did what she could. Baya went back to her room. After cleaning up, she lay on the bed and turned on her phone. There was no news from Sister Wang. She called Sister Wang. Well, madam, I'm sorry, said Sister Wang. Baya curled up the corner of her mouth. She really did read the document. This person was really dishonest. She pressed the record button and asked calmly, What's wrong? Well, after I got the document, I didn't know why I opened it when I was in the car. I swear, I really didn't read it. If I did, I'll be struck by lightning, Mother Wang swore. You didn't read it, or you didn't read it. You swear that you didn't open the document. If you did, your sons will die a horrible death and you will die a violent death, said Baya bluntly. Mother Wang's voice was trembling. Madam, what do you mean? You don't believe me? Chapter 500. I don't know how it was opened. Maybe the thief thought it was money. Madam, you can't wrong me. I know you don't like me, but it's too cruel to drive me away in this way. Wang Ma cried. She knew her tricks too well. She cried and said how wrong she was, but it was just an act. You really didn't open it? Baya asked. No, madam, you told me not to open it. How could I open it? I didn't dare to disobey you, Wang Ma said. I know. Baya hung up the phone. She called Zhang Xingyu. Zhang Xingyu just got off the plane. Madam, I got off the plane and am going home now. What's wrong? Zhang Xingyu asked. Didn't I ask Wang Ma to get the file? The file was opened. She said she opened it on the bus and I don't know why. I think she is lying, Baya said directly. I understand. Send me the route, and I will ask someone to check it. I will email you the video of her opening the file. Baya smiled. Zhang Xingyu was really considerate and knew what he should do. If possible, do you think it's convenient for you to get someone to investigate what Mother Wang did before? I have already asked them to do that before the meal, but the Sky Eye only has a storage period of 3 months, so they can only check the last 3 months, Zhang Xingyu explained. Okay, thank you. I will come back at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. During this period, keep a close eye on her. Don't stop her from doing anything, but don't let her take anything. I know. Baya nodded. She trusted Zhang Xingyu. She hung up the phone and checked the video at home. She went straight to the library, but Gu Lingqing was not there. She went back to check the video. Gu Lingqing seemed to be in the library from the beginning, reading something. He looked at the door and hid behind the bookshelf. Wang Ma walked in. Baya went back to the video and watched it 10 times. What she could be sure of was that Gu Lingqing didn't enter the library from the outside. Because the surveillance cameras had blind spots, she could only see him walking out from behind the bookshelves. She was eager to return home and wanted to find him. However, he had already said that he would stay for a period of time. He had already shortened the time by returning tomorrow. If he returned now, many people would be suspicious. She could only endure it and continue to stare at the library's video. She stared until her eyelids began to struggle, and she fell asleep in a daze. After an unknown period of time, she heard the sound of dense footsteps. When she opened her eyes, the sun was already hanging in the sky. The sunlight shone in through the window, and it was very dazzling. The first thing he did was check his phone. Unfortunately, his phone was out of battery. She quickly charged her phone, got out of bed, and washed up. Out the door. There were 4 guards standing at the door, and they greeted together. "Good morning, madam." Baya was stunned. She did not know when the soldiers at the door had arrived. "Morning. What time is it now?" 7:45, the soldier replied. "Oh, thank you for your hard work." Baya walked to the kitchen. Lin Shulan had already prepared breakfast. He scooped a bowl of porridge for Baya. "When did you wake up?" "I don't even know," Baya said casually. "I came out to make breakfast at 5 o'clock. The dishes are all ready." "Then when did you sleep?" Baya was surprised. She remembered that it was almost 12 o'clock before she went to bed last night. And Lin Shulan had not come into sleep. "I went to sleep after you left," Lin Shulan said with a smile. "Where did you sleep?" Baya was shocked. "In the kitchen." Baya understood. "I'm sorry I didn't wake you. I thought you came back to my room. It's my negligence." "It's not your fault. I was going to sleep in the kitchen. What if someone poisoned these dishes?" Lin Shulan comforted her with a smile. Baya looked at the honest smile on her face. She had always thought that she had suffered in the past, so her character was considered tough. However, compared to them, she was far from it. They were still optimistic in the face of adversity, and were full of hope for life. They would not feel that they were suffering and would still face difficulties proactively. However, she was not like that. It was because it was too hard and she felt that it was unnecessary to endure it. Many times, she wanted to end it and did not want to continue. Compared to them, she should be cowardly. "After you go back today, have a good rest," Baya said gently and lowered her head to eat the porridge. "Oh yes, madam, you still don't know. The soldiers caught a few hundred crabs. They are so densely packed. It's so cute." "They caught a few hundred crabs so early?" Baya was surprised. "There are more than 30 of them in a platoon. A few of them guard the roof, a few at your door, and a few at the main entrance. Then the rest went out to catch crabs," Lin Shulan explained. "Well, when are you going to cook?" "I'll help you with the fire." 9 o'clock. "It's too early and the food will get cold easily. I'll cook the braised pork and spare ribs first. This takes time. Then I'll cook the other dishes. The braised pork can be put back into the pot at the end. The soup will also be cooked at the end. It's hot." "Okay," Baya replied. After breakfast, she went back to her room, turned on her phone, and checked the library. Gu Lingqing appeared at 2 o'clock in the morning. He flipped through every book and seemed to be looking for something. He kept flipping until 5 o'clock. He looked at the door alertly and then quickly hid in the darkness. Wang Ma also came in to flip through the books. She sneakily flipped to the last row and found something strange. She took down the last row of books neatly one by one and stood in front of the bookshelf in a daze for a while. Then, she put all the books back, leaving no trace at all. Baya furrowed her brows. Wang Ma flipped very regularly, which meant that she should have been in the library for a long time. Could it be that Wang Ma was looking for treasures? What about Gu Lingqing? What was he looking for? It was impossible for him to find the treasures. He knew where the treasures were and the password. Wang Ma had told him. Why hadn't he contacted her after so long? Baya sighed, and a dark light flashed in her eyes. She called Zhang Xingyu. "Madam, I was just about to send you the video. I've already recorded Wang Ma opening the file." She opened it not long after she came out of the factory, Zhang Xingyu reported. "I guess so. She has a bad motive." "Have you found all the videos about her in the past 3 months?" Baya asked. "I've sorted them all out. She has been in and out of the Yinghua Club for the past 3 months. She's dressed up, very glamorous. But we can't see what she does inside. I'll send you the video," Zhang Xingyu reported. Chapter 501. "Okay, I promise to complete the task." Zhang Xingyu immediately took the order. Soon it was 9 o'clock. When Baya went downstairs to help Lin Shulan, her phone rang. She saw that it was Leng Shua and answered, "What's up?" "Madam, young master is missing," Leng Shua reported. "What? You mean Guru Ashin?" Baya was surprised. "Yes. Is there no one from the shadow protecting him? Even if there isn't, Did the third eye capture anything? Baya asked suspiciously. There are people from the shadow protecting him, but that person is dressed exactly like Chao Sushi, and his attack speed is very fast. 3 people from the shadow are no match for him. Chao Sushi? Baya quickly searched for information about this person in her mind, but she couldn't remember. In the anime Naruto, he covered his eyes, covered his face, and tied a band on his forehead. Even if it was photographed, we wouldn't be able to recognize his face, Leng Shuo explained. Capture Xiao Exine. Baya was deep in thought. She had many ideas. Since we have captured him, there must be a follow-up. We didn't capture him, and we don't have a direction to investigate. We can only wait for the follow-up to come out. I hope. Baya paused and realized that she wasn't the only one in the room. She lowered her voice and said, "It's also possible that they took him away to protect him." Well, okay. Well, wait a minute. Baya walked out of the door and stepped on the beach. The door was guarded by soldiers, so she wasn't worried about danger. She looked at the sea in the distance and continued, "How is that person's skill? Do you think it's Gu Lingqing? I didn't notice it before you mentioned it. Now that you mention it, I think it's a little similar. His figure is similar, and his movements are very fast. The chief doesn't have a fixed move, and his attacks are fast and fierce. It seems that he is the same. Moreover, he can deal with 3 shadows at once." He said, Let's leave it at that for now. Don't spread this matter. I'll be back in the afternoon, Baya said. He hung up the phone and looked at the sky. Gu Lingqing, what are you trying to do? After dinner, Baya was eager to return home, and there were still many things that she needed to deal with. Before 1600 hours p.m., she arrived at the manor and asked Song Shiyu to come back. What's wrong? Song Shiyu asked worriedly when she saw Baya's pale face. Baya's sharp gaze swept over Mother Wang. Mom, there's something I need you to make the final decision on. What? Song Shiyu looked at Mother Wang. Wang Ma wrung her hands, lowered her head, and interrupted. Madam, I really didn't mean it. All right, you tell him, Baya said in a deep voice. Old madam, it's like this. Madam asked me to go to a factory to get some documents. She told me not to open the documents, and I didn't dare to open them. But after I got on the bus, I don't know who cut it open, but young madam was very angry. Mother Wang lowered her head, feeling wronged. Baya looked at her hypocritical face. Her eyes darkened, and she didn't say anything. Well, maybe someone thought that there was money in the documents, so they cut it open. Xiaonian, you didn't lose anything important, right? Song Shiyu asked Baya. Mom, you trust her a lot, right? So you believe everything she says. Baya narrowed her eyes and stared at Mother Wang. Well, Song Shiyu was in a difficult position. Old madam, I was wrong in this matter. I didn't protect the documents properly. You can deduct my salary. I'm willing, Mother Wang said. Xiaonian, you see, she didn't want to open the documents either. God disposes of us. I'll get someone to get the documents for you in the future, Song Shiyu said gently. Mom, you're very kind, so you always believe other people's lies with good intentions. Young madam, you can't wrong me. I know that you hate me for what happened last time, so you're slandering me on purpose. All right, I'll leave then. Anyway, young master is gone. Sob, 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 my poor young master. Mother Wang said and started crying. Song Shiyu saw Mother Wang crying, and she couldn't bear it anymore. Xiaonian, did you lose any important information? I'll pay for it. Baya looked at Song Shiyu, played the video on her phone, and passed it to Song Shiyu. You'll understand when you see it. What? Song Shiyu took the video with a puzzled look. Mother Wang's eyes were fixed, and her expression was getting worse. After Song Shiyu finished watching, she looked at Mother Wang calmly. You're fired. Don't ever step into this place again. Mother Wang glanced at Baya, and asked Song Shiyu in confusion, why? God is watching. You've been by my side for so many years, and I remember that I've always treated you well. Even if you lied just now, I still protected you. Doesn't your conscience hurt? Song Shiyu asked, and showed the video in her hand to Mother Wang. Mother Wang widened her eyes, and fear flashed through her eyes. She wanted to take the phone. Song Shiyu kept the phone, and passed it to Baya. Then, she turned around and went to her room. Madam. Mother Wang knelt on the floor. I won't dare to do it again. I was just curious about what it was, and I accidentally opened it. I won't dare to do it again. I promise that I'll do whatever you want me to do in the future. If I wanted to harm you, I could just poison the food. That's it, right? Song Shiyu didn't look back and walked into her room. Lin Shulan, watch her pack her luggage, and let her leave. Pass the order that she's not allowed to step into this place, Baya ordered. You can't do this to me. You'll regret it. Mother Wang stood up angrily. All these years, you've reaped a lot of benefits from the Song family. Even if you leave now, you won't have to worry about food and clothing. Are you going to bite the hand that feeds you? Baya asked. What benefits? You're talking nonsense again. Just wait and see, Mother Wang said angrily, and left the villa. Baya called Leng Shuai. Use the third eye to lock onto Mother Wang. Also, Mother Wang's sons can't stay in the military. Keep an eye on them. They might make a move. Okay, I understand. Baya walked to the library, and recalled the place where Gu Lingqing walked out. He searched the room for a long time, but couldn't find any secret passage. But from the surveillance he didn't leave either. Could it be that the secret passage was too well hidden? Madam, bad news. Lin Shulan rushed in. Su Jing barged in with 300 armed soldiers. Search. Su Jing hadn't arrived yet, but his voice could be heard. Those people rushed in, and threw all the books on the shelves onto the floor. Su Tong, over here, someone shouted. Chapter 502. Why do you need to knock it open? I know the password. I can just open it. Baya walked to the bookshelf and keyed in the password. The bookshelf opened with a few clicks. It was empty. There was nothing inside. Su Jing looked at Baya in surprise. Why is there nothing? What do you think is inside? Baya asked with a smirk. Su Jing frowned. He was annoyed and ordered, take them away. Take them away? Baya blocked Su Jing's way. Do you have a warrant to search my house? If you don't, it's considered trespassing. I think I need to expose it on the internet. It's your Wang Ma who said there's an illegal treasure here. Do you think it's fine just because you moved it? Don't let me find you, Su Jing said angrily. Su Tong, you need to use your brain before you do anything. You'll only be used by others if you're so impulsive. I fired Wang Ma for peeking at my documents. I don't know who sent her, but I'm sure she's taking revenge. Even if there's really a treasure, will she inform you? She'll only inform her superiors, Baya said sternly. Su Jing paused. Anyway, you're on your own. Baya watched Su Jing leave angrily. Her eyes darkened. She knew a despicable person like Wang Ma would bite the hand that fed her, so she asked Zhang Xingyu to move it away last night. But, Baya looked at the place where Gu Lingqing came from. Su Jing and his men could not find the secret passage. Where did Gu Lingqing come from? Madam, are you all right? Lin Shulan asked worriedly. Baya shook her head. I'm fine. It's just a despicable person causing trouble. Yeah, it's dinner time now. Do you want to eat first? I'll tidy it up later, Lin Shulan said. There's no need. I'll tidy them up after dinner. You don't know where the books are. Since Baya said so, Lin Shulan couldn't say anything else. While they were eating, Baya was still wondering where Gu Lingqing came from. I didn't expect Wang Ma to be such a person. I've always treated her well. Song Shiyu sighed. Baya looked at Song Shiyu and said, there was once a girl. Every time she passed by a beggar, she would give the beggar 1 yuan. One day, the girl didn't have any money with her, so she didn't give it to the beggar. The beggar stopped her and beat her up because she didn't give him any money. If you do something bad, others will hate you. That's how Mother Wang is. I can't help but feel disappointed. Song Shiyu sighed. It's good to stay away from people like that. Well, Xiaonian, can you come to my room later? Song Shiyu said, looking at her as if she had something to say. Baya nodded. She probably wanted to ask about Gu Lingqing. After all, although he wasn't her biological son, Song Shiyu treated him as her biological son. Sure enough, once they entered the room, Song Shiyu asked, have you seen Lingqing? How is he now? Is he feeling better? Does he miss us? Tell him not to worry and to rest well. Baya shook her head. I didn't see him. Lungning said he left. I think he has something to do. He can leave. This means that he's almost recovered, right? Baya was silent for a while. She remembered that the bullet had gone through the back of Gu Lingqing's head. It was a miracle that he could leave so quickly. She nodded. That's good. If you see him, you must tell him that I miss him, Song Shiyu said. Yes, I know. When he finishes what he has to do, he will definitely come back. Oh yes, Mom. Did Dad tell you anything special? Baya asked tentatively. He doesn't tell me anything. He thinks I can't help him, and that I'll be bothering him. Perhaps there's no longer any feelings between us. We're still together because of the restrictions, Song Shiyu said sadly. Baya knew. She had noticed it when she had been in contact with Gu Tianhang. There was no love or women in Gu Tianhang's eyes. There was only power. Mom, if you fall in love again, Gu Lingqing and I will support you to remarry, Baya said with a smile. I'm disappointed in men. I hope I can help you take care of your children. Song Shiyu's gaze was gentle on Baya's stomach. Okay, Mom, I'm going to tidy up the books. Baya left Song Shiyu's room and went to the library. She walked around the wall and knocked on it, but still found nothing strange. There were no cracks on the ground. She looked up and saw a faint crack. Baya's heart skipped a beat. She had thought wrongly before. She thought that the secret passage was on the wall or the ground. It seemed that the secret passage should be on the top. She went out and found a ladder to enter the house. She locked the door of the library and called Lin Shulan. Don't let anyone enter the library. No one. Oh, Lin Shulan replied, puzzled. Baya climbed up the ladder, pushed the wooden door open, and turned on the flashlight on her phone. Sure enough, she saw a secret passage. She climbed up, blocked the wooden door, and continued to climb forward. After climbing for about 20 meters, she reached the end. No wonder she could not hear anything when she knocked on the wall. It turned out that there was a secret passage that was so far away from the library. She jumped down from the top. It was not deep, about 1-2 meters. She shone the flashlight on the wall. The cement was cracked in some places. This secret passage was not dug recently. On the contrary, it was quite old. Did Gu Lingqing not tell her before, because he was afraid that she would tell others? Or did he not know before and only found out when his father passed away? No, he should not know. Because if he knew, he could have gone through the tunnel long ago. It would not have been so conspicuous to have the helicopter pick him up at home. Baya was full of questions and walked forward. After walking for about 20 minutes, she found that the entrance of the cave was divided into 3. She was worried that she would get lost in the cave. It would be over if she could not go back, so she went back the way she came. Tomorrow she would prepare enough tools. Baya walked back again. It was already an hour later when she returned to the library. After she put away the ladder, she continued to tidy up the books. She tidied up until 2 in the morning. She checked the surveillance, but Gu Lingqing did not come. When Baya opened the door of the library, Lin Shulan was still guarding outside. When he saw Baya, he asked, Madam, do you want me to prepare supper for you? No, you go to sleep. I'm going back to my room to sleep, Baya said tiredly. After taking a shower, she lay on the bed and fell asleep after a while. After an unknown period of time, he heard someone ask, Are you looking for me? Baya opened her eyes. The light was dazzling, so she closed her eyes again. Silly girl, the man said and kissed her on the forehead. Chapter 503. When she woke up in the morning, her head was still groggy. Scenes flashed through her mind. She wasn't sure if it was a dream, or if it had really happened. Oh right, she had surveillance footage. She picked up her phone and checked the footage. Gu Lingqing quickly walked out of the library. He tried his best to go to the study room, but still went upstairs. Finally, he entered her room and turned on the flashlight. He stood in front of her bed for a very, very long time. Baya's face turned red. So he had really come. She felt a strange sweetness in her heart. Gu Lingqing lowered his head and kissed her. From her forehead to her cheeks, and then to her lips. Her face turned even redder. She averted her eyes and took a deep breath. She looked at the screen again. He had left her room. She turned back to watch. After he kissed her lips, he didn't continue and left. Since he was already here, why didn't he talk to her before leaving? Baya turned back to watch. After watching it for 5 times, her phone rang. She saw that it was Leng Shuai's caller ID and answered. Madam, Wang Ying is dead, Leng Shuai said simply. Wang Ying? Who? Baya didn't remember knowing this person. Wang Ma, old madam's nanny. The one you chased out yesterday. The police might be looking for you to assist in the investigation. Someone said that Wang Ma told him that if she died, it would be because of you. Leng Shuai said solemnly. Baya sneered. Killing her would dirty my hands. I don't care about her at all. Even so, the police will definitely look for you. I'll let you know if there's anything. Didn't you say that Wang Ma told someone that if she died it would be because of me? Do you know who that someone is? Baya asked. A male prostitute at the Yinghua Club. Wang Ying was a regular there. She gambled and lost $30 million. She lost all her savings. She died at the right time. I'll go to the Yinghua Club later. Send me the male prostitute's information, and we'll contact each other then. All right. As soon as Baya hung up the phone, the security guard called. Madam, the police are here. I've checked the ID. It's real. Do you want me to bring it in? Bring it over, Baya said. He hung up the phone, got up, brushed his teeth, washed up, got dressed, and went downstairs. Madam, I'll heat up your breakfast, Lin Shulan said. Thank you for your hard work. You went to bed very late last night. Thank you for coming out early to make breakfast. Not at all. I'm used to it. Lin Shulan smiled and walked into the kitchen. After a while, 2 soldiers came over with 2 policemen. Baya knew that they were here to protect her, so she followed them to guard. She didn't refuse Leng Tong's kindness and said to the police, Come in and have a seat. Do you know this person? The policeman showed the photo to Baya. Yes, she's the former nanny of my house. I fired her yesterday, Baya said straightforwardly, and then returned the photo to the policeman. What's your reason for firing her? The male policeman continued to ask while the female policeman recorded. She likes to sow discord in my house and doesn't play her part. She uses the name of the Gu family to cheat people outside. Her character isn't very good. Also recently, she lost a lot of money and her hands are not clean. I asked her to help me with that document and told her not to open it, but she opened it and came back to cheat. She said that it was slashed on the bus. I don't think it's suitable for her to stay in my house anymore, so I fired her, Baya said. May I ask where you were from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. last night? The policeman continued to ask. At home. My maid can prove it. Besides the maid, who else can prove it? The policeman continued to ask. Baya raised the corner of her mouth. My mother? Does she count? Or my doorman can prove that I didn't go out. The policemen looked at each other. The male policeman said, I hope you don't go out, because we might need your help in the investigation. I'll be very busy in the future, and I don't have much time to waste with you. You don't have to spend too much time on me. See the guests out. Baya said as she looked at the door. The soldiers walked in. May I ask if your mother went out between 7 p.m. and 2 a.m.? The policeman continued to ask. Lin Shulan came out with breakfast. No, I'm sure. I've been guarding the door. Sorry to disturb you. The policeman left. Lin Shulan, get ready. I'm going out after breakfast, Baya said in a low voice. She sat at the table and ate breakfast. There was a KTV, a bowling room, a bar, a gym, a chess room, a hotel, and a Western restaurant in the Club of Excellence. The KTV only opened at 12:30 p.m., and the bar opened at 7 p.m. Baya and Lin Shulan went to the KTV room. She showed the photo to the manager. Please ask him to come here. You mean Kevin? He's on a break recently. He took a week off, the manager said. Is there anyone close to him? Baya asked. Si Lu is close to him. He has an afternoon shift, so I'll ask him to come over now, the manager said. After a while, a man came over. He was wearing a mesh top and tight pants. He was muscular, but he was oily and didn't look like the sun. He looked quite twisted. What do you want to play? Silu asked. He sat beside Baya. His voice was a little suppressed, and it didn't sound very comfortable. Lin Shulan sat on the sofa opposite him in disdain. Baya was older, and she was mature and steady. Let's play truth or dare. I'm the best at truth or dare. Whoever doesn't tell the truth will drink. You have a good tolerance for alcohol, Silu said as he poured some wine. Baya looked at his long fingernails. Other than his middle finger, he didn't have any nails. There were scratches on his arms, and through the mesh top, there were faint whip marks on his body. Do you like your current job? Baya asked. I like it. Do you like to play queen? Baya asked immediately. Silu pursed his lips, and his eyes glanced at the top left corner. I can accept it. Baya chuckled. Who gave you those whip marks? It's a sex toy. It's my turn to ask you. How many men have you had sex with? Lin Shulan blushed. This kind of entertainment wasn't suitable for her. 1. You and Kevin are a couple, right? Baya asked directly. Silu pulled his ears. I drink. Other than you, Kevin has other girlfriends, right? Baya asked again. Silu drank his second glass of wine. Stop asking me. It's my turn to ask you now. Lin Shulan shivered. It was the first time she heard such a big man acting like a spoiled child. She had goosebumps all over her body. It was disgusting. Baya took out a stack of money from her bag. Answer me properly. This is all yours. Silu's eyes lit up when he saw the money. How many girlfriends does Kevin have? It should be just me. As for the others, you know it too. They're just playing around. They can't be considered girlfriends. Baya threw a stack of money over and showed Wang Ying's photo to Silu. Do you know her? Silu looked around. There was no one around. He lowered his voice and said, she owes the casino a lot of money. She was actually killed by them. Kevin, that's not what you said. Chapter 504. The casino, right? Baya curled up the corner of her mouth. She believed that the casino would kill someone because they couldn't pay up, but she didn't believe that the casino would deliberately slander her. So, someone must be targeting her on purpose. Baya threw a stack of money in front of Silu. How can I find the people from the casino? Or do you know who told Kevin to say that? It's Brother One, he's in charge of the casino. Silu answered every question. Baya wrote down a series of phone numbers on a piece of paper, put it in the stack of money and gave it to Silu. I can tell you that Kevin's life is in danger. If you want to keep his life, ask him to contact me. Baya stood up and said to Lin Shulan, let's go to the casino. Baya walked in front and went to the chess room. She glanced around and saw that there weren't many people in the living room. The people who should be playing cards were all in the private room. Beautiful ladies, how many? The hostess asked. You too, I want to see Brother One. Baya went straight to the point. Do you have an appointment? The hostess asked. Tell him that I know how Wang Ying died. Then he should see me. Baya said and glanced at the private room. There were 8 expressionless bodyguards standing at the door of one of the private room. The person inside should be very powerful. She wanted to see who was inside. Baya walked towards the door of the private room and was stopped by the bodyguard at the door. I'm here to gamble, Baya said. This is not a place to gamble, the bodyguard said fiercely. Let her in. A muffled voice came from the inside. The door was pushed open by the bodyguard. When Baya was about to walk in, Lin Shulan pulled Baya's hand and said, we're too few. It's not a fight, so we don't need too many people. I'll go in and take a look and come out in about 10 minutes. You wait for me at the door, got it? Baya hinted. If she didn't come out in 10 minutes, Lin Shulan could ask for help. Lin Shulan loosened his grip and nodded. Baya walked into the private room and was stunned by the man's side profile. Gu Lingqing. He sat on a spacious chair, dressed in a white suit with black edges. He was like a king, possessing a powerful aura. He looked at her with his lips curled up, his gaze unfathomable. Baya was stunned again. He had shaved the hair on both sides of his temples, and his hair was raised high in the middle. He was very handsome and cool. Just his face alone was enough to captivate all living things. However, Baya had an indescribable feeling. Back then, when his face was covered with a beard. She could still feel his cold temperament and his resolute sharpness. But he gave her a strange feeling. Was it because he was on a mission? Baya was so excited that she was about to explode. There were many things she wanted to ask him. But now that she was in someone else's territory, and there was a surveillance camera somewhere in the room, she tried her best to restrain herself and remained calm. "You want to gamble with me?" he asked. "Isn't this a casino?" Baya asked him back. He smiled. "What do you want to play? Big or small blackjack, or 5-card stud?" Baya furrowed her brows slightly and sat opposite him. His voice was hoarse, as if he had purposely lowered his voice so that no one could hear his real voice. Meeting someone who looked exactly like Gu Lingqing, she wondered if her current reaction was too calm. She took a deep breath. "Although what I'm going to say next might sound a little frivolous, I still have to say that you look exactly like my husband, almost exactly the same," Baya said straightforwardly. He shuffled the cards, placed them in the middle of the table, and leaned back on the chair. Baya had purposely observed his actions. Gu Lingqing was a person who maintained a straight posture no matter what situation he was in. This was a habit that he had cultivated over the years. He was the same. She lowered her eyes and many thoughts flashed through her mind. Perhaps their every move was being monitored. Her appearance would put him in a difficult situation. She should find a reason to leave. "You're talking about Gu Lingqing," he said straightforwardly. Baya looked at him in surprise. "When I first came to a land, I heard someone tell me that I look very much like the youngest general in their country, almost exactly the same. But he was unlucky and died at the end of last month, right?" he said calmly. Baya fixed her eyes on him. He acted well and didn't reveal any flaws. If she stayed any longer, she might make things difficult for him. She stood up. "I'm sorry because you look too much like my husband, I'm too shocked, so I can't gamble with you anymore." She walked towards the door. The man's men stopped her. Baya turned back to look at him. He stood up, put on his gloves, and said in a deep voice, "My name is Xing Buhua, remember this name." He walked past her, and went out of the private room. Baya stood there in a daze. Lin Shulan was also shocked by him. She ran into the private room and asked Baya, "Is that the man the chief? Why does he look exactly like the chief? Isn't the chief dead? I saw the chief being sent to the crematorium with my own eyes. And when the chief died, Sheng Dongqing brought people here to make trouble." Baya looked at Xing Buhua's back, frowned, and said deliberately, "He is not Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing is cold, and he has a trace of a ruffian. The way he talks, the way he walks, and even the small details are different. But why does he look exactly like Gu Lingqing?" In the surveillance room. "Is he really not Gu Lingqing?" Su Zheng asked Su Changhao, who was beside him. "No, Baya is right. The way he talks, the way he walks, and the small details are different." Su Changhao said the same thing to Baya. "Why does he look exactly like Gu Lingqing? Why don't we do a paternity test?" "A paternity test is useless. Gu Lingqing is not the son of Gu Tianheng and Song Shiyu. He is the son of Song Shiyu's brother. Gu Lingqing's 2 sons are missing again. Since he is the son of Song Shiyu's brother, he should be related to Song Shiyu by blood. Can't we just do a test?" Su Changhao suggested. "He is not a direct relative. There are many possibilities. Even if we prove that he is related to Song Shiyu, it can't prove that he is Gu Lingqing," Su Zheng said irritably. "Can't we just check his background?" "But Dad, why do you care so much about him? Did you do something wrong to Gu Lingqing? And why are you here at this time?" Su Changhao was suspicious and asked a series of questions. Su Zheng's eyes were fixed, and he cleared his throat. "Well, I came here to investigate the cause of Wang Ying's death and happened to meet him. I felt that he looks like Gu Lingqing, so I stayed to observe him." "Is that so?" Su Changhao thought deeply and lowered his eyes. Chapter 505. Seeing this, Lin Shulan immediately protected Baya behind him and shouted at Brother Wen, "Do you still have the law? How can you beat people like this? This is the law. Go." Brother Wen's men rushed forward. Baya was very calm. "Do you think I'm not prepared? The evidence of your murder is now in my hands. If you want to die, Let your men do it. Stop. Brother Wen shouted and looked at Bai Ye suspiciously. Who are you? Where did you get the evidence? After you were instructed by someone to kill Wang Ying, you framed Bai Ye. Unfortunately, you did not do it cleanly. Kevin knows what happened, and there is a recording as evidence, Bai Ye said simply. What do you want? Brother Wen said angrily. When you killed Wang Ying, did you think about the power behind her? Bai Ye asked. An ignorant woman who only knows how to gamble with a gigolo. What power can she have? Brother Wen said disdainfully. Both of his sons are in the military. If he wants to kill you, he can do it in minutes. That old woman offended the wife of the chief. His 2 sons can't protect themselves. Besides, who knows that I killed them? Brother Wen said and stared at Bai Ye. What do you want to do here? I'm here to save you. Bai Ye took out a note from her bag, wrote her phone number on it, and handed it to Brother Wen. You know too much. You also know the person behind you. Do you think he will let you testify against him alive? If you want to live, you can call me. Brother Wen looked at Bai Ye in shock. Bai Ye raised a confident smile, which was very infectious, as if she had already guessed a lot of things that didn't happen. Brother Wen frowned, took the note from Bai Ye's hand, glanced at it and smashed it on the ground. He pointed at Bai Ye and said angrily, I will not betray my boss, even if I die. So don't be alarmist. Su Changhao, who was in the monitoring room, frowned. Don't tell me they are talking about you, Dad. What are you talking about? How could I possibly be associated with this motley crew? Su Zheng said angrily. Su Changhao turned around and faced Su Zheng. Bai Ye is my friend's widow. If I find out that you want to harm him, I won't be soft-hearted. I hope that you won't do something that you'll regret. What do you mean? Are you going to deal with your father for an outsider? Su Zheng said angrily. First of all, if I'm alone, Su Changhao said in a low voice. He turned around and walked out of the monitoring room. Su Zheng pursed his lips, picked up the mouse, smashed the screen, stared at Bai Ye's belly and made the call. Seeing Brother Wen answering the phone, Bai Ye had a bad feeling and walked towards the door. Did I say you could leave? Brother Wen said gloomily. He hung up the phone and ordered his men, beat them to death. Lin Shulan hurried to protect Bai Ye. But there were too many of them, and Lin Shulan couldn't handle them alone. Bai Ye saw a few people rushing towards her. She wasn't afraid of being beaten, but she had Xiaobao's baby in her belly. It would be easy to get rid of Xiaobao's baby. She protected her belly. When the 3 men were about to hit her, they were suddenly kicked away and hit the table, making a loud noise. Brother Wen's men were stunned by the sudden arrival of someone, and looked towards the door. Xing Buhua had one hand in his pocket, leaned against the door frame, and pointed at Brother Wen. I forgot to take something that I dropped. What? Brother Wen was confused. Take my woman and her men away. Xing Buhua turned around and seemed to think of something. He looked back and glanced at Brother Wen. The sharpness in his eyes was like the coldness of the frozen earth, with an indescribable coldness. He warned, if you dare to touch a hair on her next time, I promise that you will not be the only one who will die. Your whole family, your men, and your whole family. Bai Ye's heart skipped a beat. She looked at Xing Buhua walking in front of her. She and Lin Shulan were escorted out of the room by Xing Buhua's men. She looked at his back in surprise. If she guessed correctly, there was a surveillance camera in the room just now. The man behind Brother Wen was in the surveillance room now. And the one who called Brother Wen just now was the boss. Since he said that she was his woman in front of so many people, wasn't he afraid of being suspected? Moreover, his style just now was indeed incompatible with Gu Lingqing. No matter how angry Gu Lingqing was, it was impossible for him to rape someone else's wife and children. Was he faking it on purpose? Do you know where the surveillance room is? Bai Ye asked. Xing Buhua stopped in his tracks. You'd better not go to the surveillance room. Why? Bai Ye was puzzled. He looked back at her and said evilly, because you will die quickly. She looked at the face that she had been yearning for day and night, pursed her lips and did not say a word. Xing Buhua looked behind her and said meaningfully, actually, you can guess who it is even if you don't go. Bai Ye followed his line of sight and looked behind her. It was Su Changhao. In that case, the one in the surveillance room should be Su Zheng. It was reasonable for Su Zheng to kill Wang Ying. He felt that he had been used and wanted to vent his anger. However, she did not expect that Su Zheng would order Brother Wen to hit her. It seemed that she and Su Zheng were not on the same side. Su Changhao walked to Baiya. "I'll send you back." Baiya nodded. "Thank you." Su Changhao looked at Xing Buhua and thought for a while. In the end, he did not say anything. He nodded and held Baiya's wrist as they left the club. In the car. "That man is not Gu Lingqing. Stay away from him. He looks dangerous," Su Changhao reminded her. "Did your father ask you to go to the surveillance room to see if he is Gu Lingqing?" Baiya asked tentatively. "Yes, he said that he is here to investigate Wang Ying's case. That man looks too much like Gu Lingqing." It shocked him, Su Changhao explained. Baiya twitched her lips. There were many things that she should keep to herself. If she said it out loud, it would put others in a difficult position and put herself in danger. "You can just drop me off here. I'll get into Xiaolan's car," Baiya said. Su Changhao stopped his car by the roadside. He turned his head and looked at Baiya. "If you have any difficulties, you can call me for help. Gu Lingqing is my best friend. I should take care of you. Thank you in advance." Baiya opened the car door and walked to Lin Shulan's car. Lin Shulan drove past Su Changhao. Baiya got into the car and switched off the voice recorder. She said to Lin Shulan, "We have the evidence. We can go to the police station now. If the police arrest Brother Wen, he won't rely on us anymore, right?" Lin Shulan was worried. If he goes to the police station, he should be worried about Su Zheng, not us. Pay close attention to Su Zheng's actions. If he shows any flaws, I want him to have no chance of turning over, Baiya said resolutely. Chapter 506. That man's name is Xing Buhua. Why? Does he look exactly like the chief? Lin Shulan was puzzled. Baiya closed her eyes and pretended to sleep. She pondered for a while and called Leng Shuai. "Hello, it's me, Baiya. I saw a man who looks like Gu Lingqing at the Yinghua Club just now. His name is Xing Buhua. Go and check it out," Baiya said in a low voice. Could it be the chief? After all, it's safer for the chief to change his identity, Leng Shuai guessed. "I don't know. He looks so much like him that I can't tell the difference. He doesn't look like he had plastic surgery either. But his aura is completely different from Gu Lingqing." Baiya frowned. "When we carry out our missions, we often have to disguise ourselves. It doesn't look normal. If it's the chief, he will contact you, right?" Baiya recalled the video of Gu Lingqing standing by her bed for a long time before kissing her and leaving. If he wanted to contact her, he would have said so directly. There wouldn't have been a chance. He would have left silently. "I'll be at the police station soon. We'll talk later. Pay close attention to Su Zheng." Baiya hung up the phone and looked out of the window. A sky blue sports car passed by her car. The owner looked back at her, winked, and drove away at a faster speed. Baiya was stunned. Gu Lingqing. No Xing Buhua. If he was pretending to be a hooligan, he wouldn't have to do it in front of her when there was no one else around. She was frustrated. She turned on the recording pen and used another recording pen to cut the useful part in the middle. Soon, they arrived at the police station. Baiya passed the recording pen to Lin Shulan. "Go, I'll wait for you in the car." "I'm okay. Is Madam feeling unwell?" Lin Shulan asked worriedly. Baiya shook her head. "I'm just a little tired. Maybe I didn't sleep enough yesterday. I'll be back soon." Lin Shulan ran to the police station. Baiya closed her eyes. Thud, thud, thud. Baiya opened her eyes and saw Gu Lingqing's mesmerizing face outside the window. He took off his coat, opened the car door and put it on her. "You'll catch a cold if you sleep in the car." Baiya grabbed his arm, locked her eyes on his face and blurted out, "What are you doing?" Xing Buhua held Baiya's hand. She watched him wear rings all over his hand, in all shapes and sizes, very damp. She remembered that Lingqing didn't like wearing them. In that instant, he felt a sense of grievance and confusion, as if he had lost his way in a thick fog. He raised his head to look at Xing Buhua, and there were thousands of words he wanted to say to him. He smiled and said meaningfully, "Sometimes the false can be true, and sometimes the true can be false. You just have to remember that I will never hurt you." Bai yin xing bai bu hua. Xing is xing. Xing Buhua let go of her, turned around, and went into the police station. Bai Yi sighed. She felt like a cake was right in front of her. It was hers, but she had to wait for a certain time to take it. Not only that, but there was a cover around the cake. She was anxious and anxious, but she couldn't do anything. Gu Lingqing, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you sure that not telling me is the best choice? Bai Yi said to herself. So annoying. She couldn't ask him directly. She was afraid that there were people watching him. Lin Shulan came out of the police station and reported to Bai Yi. Madam, I just met him again. He's the man who looks like a chief. He seems to have a very high position. I saw that even the police chief was respectful to him. Let's go back and wait for the results of the investigation. Bai Yi didn't want to think about anything. When she got home, she climbed into bed and fell asleep. When she woke up, the sky was already dark. She sat up and her mind was much clearer. She recalled the meeting with Xing Buhua today. She picked up her phone and found several caller ID. However, her phone was on silent mode. She didn't receive any calls. She remembered that it was not on silent mode. She checked the video. Gu Lingqing no Xing Buhua came to her room. Her phone rang. He turned it off. It was probably on silent mode. He put the phone on the bedside table, sat by the bed, and looked at her for a long time. Bai Yi sighed. If he wasn't Gu Lingqing, he wouldn't have come to see her like this. He had nothing better to do. Bai Yi sighed again. She called Leng Shuai first. Madam. Leng Shuai called very solemn. Tell me, Bai Yi said in a low voice. Xing Buhua, Xing Shang's grandson. On the surface he is a legal arms dealer of country M. In fact, he was sent out by our country to investigate 12 countries. Recently, he brought back important information. It seems that he is going to be the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Leng Shuai reported. Xing Shang's grandson? Is there anyone who can testify about his past? Bai Yi asked suspiciously. Witnesses can be faked. As long as you have power, you can make it flawless. What about a paternity test? Can we know if he is Xing Shang's grandson? He is an illegitimate child. Illegitimate child? What do you mean? Bai Yi was puzzled. Do you know Song Jianren? Yes, he is Song Shiyu's cousin. When his wife Angie committed suicide, I took over. Bai Yi recalled. Song Jianren has a younger sister who married Xing Shang's son, Xing Buhua's mother. Xing Buhua's mother gave birth to a son outside when she was young. That son is Xing Buhua. After Xing Buhua's mother died, Xing Shang brought him home and sent him to investigate, Leng Shuai explained. Then what about Xing Buhua's biological father? There must be someone on his side, right? Bai Yi was suspicious. His biological father is unknown. No one knows who he is, not even Xing Shang. That explains why he looks so much like Gu Lingqing. Because Gu Lingqing resembles his mother, Song Shiyu's cousin's son is genetically similar to Gu Lingqing. This makes sense. Bai Yi was silent. Gu Lingqing was Song Shiyu's brother's son, so Xing Buhua was Song Shiyu's cousin's son. This was not contradictory. Leng Shuai could only find this out. Others could only find this out. There was no problem with this identity scheme. Leng Shuai, I remember there is a general in the Ministry of National Defense, right? What is his position in the Ministry of National Defense? Bai Yi asked. He is the deputy minister. The minister is Lin Shutong. Lin Shutong is the minister. Currently he works for Shen Yan. The deputy minister is General Lin. His sister used to be Song Jianren's wife, so she works for Gu Tianhang. The finance minister is Sheng Dongcheng. The deputy minister is Song Jianren, who works for Gu Tianhang. Chapter 507. Okay. Oh, are you still coming to the military? You haven't done the last test. Also, I've sorted out 80% of the people in Shengdongqing base. Should I send it to you? Leng Shuai asked. Send it to me. I'll take a look. I'll prepare the test papers tonight. You can distribute them to all the soldiers. Some of them will need to do the second and third tests, Bai Yi said. Okay. Bai Yi hung up and called Su Changhe. My junior, you finally called me back. I'm freezing at the airport, Su Changha complained. Senior, have you arrived? I'm sorry, I'm taking a nap. I'll pick you up now. Baya lifted the blanket and got up. I've died many times by the time you pick me up. I'm already in Suite 1908 of the International Hotel. We've already had dinner. Do you still want to come? Su Changha said. I haven't had dinner yet. Baya looked at the time on her phone. It was 10 o'clock. How about 10 at night? Forget it. I'm tired from the journey and I'm tired from waiting for you. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll rest early tonight. Okay. I'll treat you to lunch tomorrow. There's no us, only me. My sister didn't come. Me and her. I give up, Su Changha said sadly. Since you're in a country, I'll introduce a girlfriend to you. Baya comforted him. No need. I'm still adjusting my mood. Let's talk about it in a year or two. I'll hang up now. Su Changha hung up. Baya sighed. Su Changha was a good man. Unfortunately, he only cared about his sister and no one else. Baya called Shiniyen again. Did you see her? Shiniyen asked directly. Baya nodded. I saw him. He looks exactly like Gu Lingqing. If I didn't know that Gu Lingqing was dead, I would have thought that it was Gu Lingqing. I heard that he was appointed as the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I also just found out. I checked the secret files, and there is indeed information about him. He is 1 year younger than Gu Lingqing. For so many years, he led a group of subordinates, appearing and disappearing mysteriously, and completed many top-notch missions. When I returned to China, Xing Shang came to me and suggested that I appoint him as the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs. Xing Shang is his grandfather, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs. Sheniyen said in a deep voice. Secret files? Where did you get the secret files? Baya asked. It's like this. The departments in our country are managed separately. Everyone has their own authority. For example, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs doesn't know the situation of the Ministry of National Defense, and the Ministry of National Defense doesn't know the situation of other places. Every department has its own secret warehouse, and no one else can know about it. The management is also divided into ranks. For example, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was managed by Xing Shang before I took over. However, I don't have the authority to open Xing Shang's file unless he hands it over, Shiniyen explained. This will cause mistakes in the work, and there will be many dark things growing in it. Baya frowned. No, the president has the right to open the file as long as more than half of the people in the meeting agree. Also, if the Discipline Inspection Department receives a report, they will do a spot check. So is it possible that Xing Buhua's information was entered by Xing Shang? Baya asked. Shiniyen smiled. First of all, it's possible. Secondly, there is indeed such a person leading the investigation team. If it's not Xing Buhua, who could it be? Lastly, you're suspecting that he might be Gu Lingqing, so it's definitely not Gu Lingqing. Why? If he is Gu Lingqing, he will definitely tell you, won't he? Shiniyen asked. Baya paused. She now knew why Gu Lingqing didn't tell her, because as long as there was the slightest bit of carelessness, he would undoubtedly die. Not telling her, perhaps, was the best plan, because others would also judge from her reaction. When are you going to arrange for me to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Cabinet? Baya changed the topic and asked. There's an exam in January. I'll sign you up now and tell you the answers directly. You just need to memorize them. When the time comes, there'll be an interview and go through the process. As for the Cabinet, there'll be an application at the beginning of every year. I'll arrange for you to go there. Okay, Wunyan. Shiniyen called and remained silent. Speak, Baya said simply. Lu Shuang, how are you doing? Shiniyen asked in a deep voice. No news is good news. You better take care of yourself. You're the one surrounded by enemies. That's all for now. I'm hanging up. Baya hung up the phone, walked to the window and looked outside. Lu Shuang, how is he doing? There was a knock on the door. Come in. The door was pushed open. Lin Shulan stood at the door. Madam, there's a girl who says she's your friend and wants to see you. She's at the door now. Girl. Baya turned around. Her heart was surging. Could it be Lu Shuang? What's her name? Baya asked. I think her name is Ling, Ye's eyes darkened again. Aling Allen had mentioned it before. It was later than she had expected. Let her in, Ye said in a deep voice. Do you want me to prepare dinner for you? Lin Shulan asked with concern. Ye nodded and touched her stomach. I think I'm hungry. Lin Shulan went to prepare dinner. Song Shiyu had been in the living room the whole time. When she saw her, she wanted to say something but stopped herself. Xiao Nian, I heard that you met someone who looks exactly like Gu Lingqing today? Mom, Gu Lingqing is already dead. No matter how much she looks like him, she's not him. Moreover, she's your cousin's illegitimate child, Ye reminded her. My cousin's illegitimate child. Song Shiyu nodded. That makes sense. That's good, that's good. She turned around and went back to her room, muttering to herself. Ye turned back to look at her. Song Shiyu was getting on in years. It was better to stay away from some things. She had lost 2 of her closest relatives in a short period of time. She should be more hurt than her. Ye sighed again. She heard the sound of a car at the door. Aling rushed into the room and looked at Ye with red eyes. I've always liked you, sister. I also think that you're a noble person. I also think that you're the only one in the world who's worthy of Alan. I know that you're sad about your husband's death, but don't make a wrong decision because you're sad. Is that all right? I like Su Jiran very much. Except for Gu Lingqing, I won't like anyone else. The problem between you and Su Jiran is your own. But Su Jiran only likes you. Aling said with grievance. Chapter 508. Aling paused for a moment and walked forward. Lin Shulan was afraid that she would hurt Ye. So she stood in front of Ye. Sister Wu Nian, can you help me? I want to be a charming woman like you. Aling said coquettishly. Once upon a time, she had envied Aling's personality. She was sunny and lively, as if she was bathing in the spring breeze, which made her feel very comfortable. She wanted to learn from her. Aling, Su Jiran is a very attractive person. He's good at flirting and knows what girls like. He's rich, handsome, has a good figure, and is generous to women. Also, it's easy for women to get a sense of satisfaction from him. But he's a playboy. I married him a long time ago. 3 years is not a short time. He has many women around him. I used to think that I could make him look at me occasionally through my own efforts, but he didn't. He had sex with Xing Jinyan right in front of me. My heart was bitterly disappointed with him. Then he said that he liked me. To be honest, I didn't believe him at all. I know myself. I don't even know what he likes about me. If I really want to explain it, it might be that he feels that something that belongs to him has run away. It's a simple possessiveness. So he injected a virus into my body. I left for 2 years. I changed my bones, had plastic surgery, and was on the verge of death every day. Do you really think that's love? If you think it is, I really don't know what he likes about me. I don't know how to teach you. Ye said clearly. He told me that he likes you, and he will only like you in his life. Aling looked at Ye suspiciously. Ye sighed. He had already decided that it was useless for her to say anything more. People would think that she was quibbling and half-heartedly. What do you want to learn from me? Tell me and I'll teach you, Ye said in a deep voice. I want to know why Su Jiran likes you. Can you teach me? Aling said with hope. You should ask Su Jiran first before asking me, Ye said helplessly. Oh right. Aling immediately called Su Jiran and said sweetly, Jiran, I'm at Wu Nian's Ye's house now. I want to know what you like about Ye. Tell me. She doesn't pester me. That's her biggest strength, and also my favorite part about her, Su Jiran said impatiently. Don't pester me? Aling paused. If I don't pester you, will you like me? No, I only have her in my heart. Then I will pester you. Aling said willfully. Su Jiran sneered. Then I'll only hate you. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. Then I'll tell Ye your family's secret, Aling threatened. Whatever. Su Jiran said indifferently and hung up. Aling held the phone tightly and looked at Ye with red eyes. Sister, I'll tell you a secret. Su Jiran's mother, Xiong Dani, is actually the former president's lover. I saw that they sent a car to pick her up. Everyone knows about this relationship, and they're all speculating about it. There's no actual evidence. Besides, his mother and the former president's wife are very close, so no one exposed this secret. Baya had known about it for years. However, this kind of thing, as long as there was no concrete evidence, it was considered an arrest. Otherwise, Shen Yan's father would have stepped down long ago. I know there's evidence. I've seen it. Xiong Dani might be afraid of being abandoned by the former president one day. So she took photos of the evidence and locked it in her safe, Aling said. A light flashed in Baya's eyes. Xiong Dani had been with Shen Yan's father for many years. Maybe there was a lot of evidence in her hands. After all, Shen Yan's father was the behind-the-scenes person who killed Gu Lingqing's father. Some mistakes should be made. I know, Aling, it's not safe for you to be here now. Go back to the UK. After a while, I'll invite you to play again, Baya said in a deep voice. After Aling said that, she regretted it and asked worriedly, Sister, will you deal with Xiong Dani? What do you hope? Baya asked. I actually want to be with Su Jieran, but I was impulsive just now, Aling said with her head down. If you deal with Xiong Dani, Su Jieran will hate me. Don't you think he will hate me? Baya asked again. Yeah, if he wants to hate someone, he will hate you first. But you can't say that I said it. Baya smiled helplessly. She was such a silly sister. She had threatened Su Jieran just now. Once something happened, Su Jieran would definitely know that it was her. Aling, Su Jieran is really not suitable for you. He is too shrewd and has too many burdens on his shoulders. He is not a simple person. Besides, there is a gap in age between you and him. He may sleep with you because of your young body, but he will not love you, Baya reminded. I'm so annoyed. Why is he so annoying? One moment he is like this, the next moment he is like that. Aling stamped her feet. Also, don't tell anyone else what you said to me just now. I'll ask someone to send you to Alan now. If you can, go back to the UK as soon as possible, Baya advised. Aling turned around and said, I'm so annoyed, so annoyed. Baya looked at Aling and said, send her back. After Aling left, Baya called Leng Shuai. Leng Shuai, I just received a piece of news. I'm not sure if it's reliable. Send someone to check it out. Someone said that there is evidence of her and Shen Ao in the safe at Xiong Dani's house. If there is, just take it all. Alright, I know what to do. After Baya gave her instructions, she scooped some rice and ate it. Then, she went to the library to organize her books. After tidying up, she walked to the bottom of the secret passage and looked up at the entrance. Should she go in today or not? What would she find after going in? She thought about it for 10 minutes. She went out and went upstairs to organize her small backpack. She put water, biscuits, dried tofu, beef jerky, sweets, 10 balls of string, a flashlight, and a Swiss Army knife in the bag. Madam, are you going out? Lin Shulan asked, puzzled. No, there's some food in the bag. I'm going to stay in the library. You can sleep first tonight. Don't wait for me. I have to go out to meet a friend of mine tomorrow morning, Baya said. Oh. Lin Shulan looked suspiciously at Baya's backpack. All right then. Baya entered the library again. She locked the door and went into the secret passage. She walked to the fork in the road and chose the middle road. She took out the ball, put down the rope and walked inside. After walking for half an hour, there were still 3 small roads in front of her. There were many tunnels. If she did not know the way, she would definitely get lost in them. Baya still chose the middle road and walked in. Chapter 509. After walking for about half an hour, 3 more roads appeared in front of her. She continued to walk forward, and after walking for another half an hour, 3 more roads appeared. She did not have many balls of yarn left in her hands, and she could not give up halfway. She continued to walk forward, and halfway through, there was no more yarn. She walked to the end of the road, and if there were 3 more crossroads, she would have to turn back. Suddenly, she heard a sound behind her, and turned around to see someone standing behind her. She was shocked, and took a few steps back. The flashlight shone on that person's face. Gu Lingqing. He squinted his eyes. I've seen it clearly. Please move the light away, it's blinding. When Baya saw that it was him, she heaved a sigh of relief. She shone the flashlight on the ground, and suddenly felt a little annoyed. You go home from here every day? It's mainly to see you. He walked towards Baya, put his hands on her waist and smiled. It takes me 2 hours to run every day. At that moment, no matter how angry Baya was, she was no longer angry. When she thought about how he had to run 2 hours every day to see her, her heart was filled with warmth and heartache. I saw the bullet go through the back of your head with my own eyes. Are you okay now? Baya asked worriedly. That was a show. I was not shot at all. Sheng Dongqing's men are in the army, and if they see that I'm not dead, they will take action. Baya punched him on the shoulder. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I almost committed suicide. A strange look flashed in his eyes and he frowned. Committed suicide? I told you before, if you die, I will accompany you. I'm not joking, so for my sake, you must live, Baya said solemnly. He stared at her, his expression hard to decipher. Baya had a strange feeling, and felt uncomfortable under his gaze. What's wrong? He knocked her on the head, a little forcefully. Baya felt the pain, and she looked at him in confusion, pursing her lips tightly. He saw the resentment in her eyes, and those watery eyes seemed to be able to speak. Are you enlightened? What? Baya was even more puzzled. Let me ask you, whose woman are you? He asked. You. Although Baya was annoyed, she had never wavered in the slightest. Since you're my woman, shouldn't you listen to me? He asked. Baya smiled and put down her hand. You are mine too. You are mine too, but I usually listen to you. I really don't know if you are smart or stupid, he said. By the way, did you take Xiao Xian away? Baya asked. Yes, otherwise I'll be exposed if I do a paternity test with Xiaoxing, he said in a low voice. What on earth are you doing? Baya asked in confusion. Sheng Dongqing already views Gu Lingqing as a thorn in his side. If I appear as Gu Lingqing, I'll die quickly. I haven't found the spy in the military flag yet. Not only will I be safer if I change my identity, I can also do a lot of things. Soon, I will be the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mastering diplomacy is also a means. After all, Shen Yan and Sheng Dongqing are on the same side. We have to be careful, he said in a low voice. His eyes were filled with malice, and it was especially cold in the dark tunnel. Baya had a strange feeling in his heart. It was an indescribable feeling, but he couldn't tell what was strange about it. I will do the same in January. I will also go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. If you need anything, you can let me do it. Let's do it in March. I'll go to the cabinet again. I already have a plan. First, I'll get rid of Sheng Dongqing's subordinates so that he doesn't have wings. Oh right, maybe I can get some secrets from Shenao. As for the details, I can only tell you tomorrow. He smiled and tightened his grip on her waist. It's my honor to be able to make you my woman. It's my honor to be able to be husband and wife with you. Baya smiled. He looked at her bright eyes and white teeth. Under the dim light, they were covered with a thin veil, making her look even more beautiful. He lowered his head and kissed Baya's lips. The kiss was wild, and he pushed her against the wall. Baya couldn't breathe from his kiss. He seemed to be hungry. He didn't give her any room to breathe. He hugged her waist and pressed her against his stomach. Baya could clearly feel his passion and sighs. Her face turned red. Although she had done it with him many times, she still felt embarrassed and pushed him away. He let go of her lips, but didn't let go of her. He kissed her neck and her fair skin. Baya giggled because it was ticklish. Gu Lingqing, that's enough. Gu Lingqing, it's too ticklish. He suddenly stopped. A sharp glint flashed in his eyes. He hid in the darkness and looked at her. I'm Xingbuhua now. No matter what the situation is, you can't call me Gu Lingqing. Do you understand? Baya understood that they were all in the limelight now, and the slightest flaw would lead to a fatal disaster. I know. Baya nodded seriously. Call me now, Xingbuhua said. Xingbuhua, 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 Baya said seriously. He kissed her lightly on the lips. Say it again. Xingbuhua, Baya said. He smiled satisfactorily. He pressed the back of her head and kissed her earlobe. It's ticklish. Baya pushed him away. You should say not it's ticklish, Xing Buhua reminded. That's not necessary. You won't do this to me in front of others. In private, it's just the two of us anyway, Baya said, blushing. Some habits are unintentional. If there's a need, I may do this in front of others. If you call me Gulingqing, that's not good, right? Only when you put yourself in my shoes and remember it all the time will you not make a mistake. You have to be in the right state and address me, he said in a low voice. What kind of trick is this? If you're Xing Buhua, you should pretend that you don't know me when you see me. You shouldn't provoke me on purpose, Baya suggested. The more I provoke you, the less suspicious I will be. You won't let me never see you or touch you, will you? Xing Buhua raised his eyebrows. His tone was coquettish. Baya chuckled. Your current state is far from Gulingqing's. He would never speak in such a tone. So, you have to put yourself in his shoes and maintain the state of another person at all times, so that you won't show any flaws inadvertently. You have to do the same. Be good and tell me. Xing Buhua guided her. She felt even more embarrassed. But after thinking about it, what he said made sense. Xing Buhua, it's ticklish, she said stiffly. What else? Xing Buhua asked. What else? Baya didn't understand. Chapter 510. Baya. Well, she had never been a thick-skinned person. She wouldn't have said that before and she definitely wouldn't say that now. She lowered her head. Are you shy? Xing Buhua looked at her from head to toe. His eyes lit up and he smiled. Actually, men like to hear these things. You like it too. Baya looked up at him. Xing Buhua frowned slightly, but his eyes were filled with surprise as if he had thought of something. I like it. Why don't you tell me? Baya turned around and faced her back to him. She was too embarrassed. Anyway, it's not like I don't have to practice it in front of others. He pulled her into his arms and said hoarsely, Can't you satisfy me? Ha! Baya turned to look at him. He was too close to her. She met his eyes and saw the desire in his eyes. The child is not 3 months old yet. He can't do any strenuous exercise. So, on account of how hard I've been holding it in, why don't you tell me? I definitely won't be able to sleep tonight, he said hoarsely. Baya licked her lips. I am embarrassed. She exhaled. He placed his hand on her stomach. What's there to be embarrassed about? Just tell me. There's no one else here, huh? Well, next time. She moved his hand away and looked at him. She could see the disappointment and anger in his eyes, and she felt a little uncomfortable. Did all men have such an expression when they were dissatisfied? They seemed to be resentful. She tiptoed and kissed him on the cheek. That's it. He was still not satisfied and raised his eyebrows. When are you coming tomorrow? Baya asked. It's around this time, between 2 to 3 a.m. What's wrong? It's too tiring for you to rush like this. Don't come again next time. Have a good rest, Baya said with concern. Xing Buhua's eyes turned cold and he turned around. I can come if you don't want me to. Baya held his arm. That's not what I meant. Every time you travel, you have to travel for a few hours. You don't even have time to sleep. We still have a lot of things to do. It's too tiring to travel like this. If you don't want to see me, just say so, Xing Buhua said coldly. How could I not want to see you? I can't wait to be with you every day. If you do this, your body will be exhausted, Baya explained. So in order to not tire me out, it doesn't matter if you don't see me? Xing Buhua asked in return, looking at her. Baya smiled. The future is long. We're working so hard so that we can be together forever. You know that I'm not a short-sighted person. Xing Buhua knocked on her head. You mean that I'm a short-sighted person who doesn't know what's good for me? Baya covered his head and complained. Be gentler. Xing Buhua smiled. Then when we go in, do you want me to be gentler or more serious? Baya, he really did hit her whenever he didn't agree with her. She felt that he was a little different. He was much more outgoing than before. In the past, he only did things and didn't say anything. He was more reserved. Now she couldn't handle it. Xing Buhua saw that she didn't speak. Then I'll get to the point. That, huh? He looked at her with a burning gaze. Which path did you come from? Do you even know where the exit is? Baya asked. Xing Buhua frowned and wanted to knock her head. Baya quickly covered her head. Seeing her pitiful look, he knocked her lightly. Do you want to suffocate me to death? Baya saw that he was knocking her lightly, and felt a little warmth in her heart. When they were on the island, they did it almost every day. After he found out that she was pregnant, he had been holding it in for a long time. He looked at her with droopy eyes. He didn't look forward to what she was going to say next. After being splashed with cold water by her a few times, he felt cold. Baya couldn't say it out loud and lowered her head. He was the person she loved the most. If he was happy, she would be happy too. If he wasn't happy, she wouldn't be happy either. Some things required customer service. If she was so dull, he would also feel that she was boring. She didn't want him to be disappointed in her. I can solve it for you in other ways, Baya said softly. Ha! Xing Buhua's eyes lit up. Baya smiled bitterly. Even though they were husband and wife, she still felt very embarrassed to say it out loud. Xing Buhua lowered his head impulsively and kissed her lips. He pinned her to the wall and kissed her eagerly. After kissing for 10 minutes, both of them were panting. Only then did Xing Buhua let go of her. He looked at her blushing face and smiled. Did I tell you that I fell in love with you at first sight? Xing Buhua said. Baya recalled their first meeting. Oh no. Gu Lingqing had sex with her the first time they met. The first time she remembered seeing him was during that mission. He was indeed very nice to her. It was only the second time they met, but he bought her expensive cosmetics. What about you? Did you fall in love with me at first sight? Xing Buhua asked. Time breeds love. I'm a slow person, so it's not easy to fall in love at first sight, Baya replied. So my looks are not the reason why you like me. Xing Buhua nodded and said meaningfully, I will work hard. What? Work hard for what? Baya felt that his words were a little strange. Didn't you say that time breeds love? Xing Buhua raised his eyebrows. Baya was stunned for 3 seconds before she understood what he meant. Her face instantly turned red. She cleared her throat to calm herself down. Xing Buhua looked at her embarrassed and shy face and smiled widely. I'm just kidding. I'll send you back now. See you tomorrow. It's around this time. You don't have to run out. Also, don't come into this tunnel casually. There are traps in it. If you accidentally touch it, even God can't save you, Xing Buhua reminded her. There are traps in this tunnel. She had walked for so long without touching it. You'll know after walking for another kilometer, Xing Buhua said with certainty. Did your father tell you about this tunnel? Baya had a strange feeling in her heart. Gu Lingqing still had some little secrets from her. Although it was harmless. Perhaps because she thought that she was different, her expectations were higher. She shouldn't be like this. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you, Xing Buhua said. Baya smiled. You must have your reasons for not telling me. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, see you tomorrow. Don't forget what you promised, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. She promised? Baya remembered what it was and lowered her head. He held her hand and walked back. The surroundings were very quiet. Baya listened to his footsteps and felt much more at ease. Chapter 5:11. He walked very slowly, probably to take care of her small steps. He did not let go of her hand the whole time. They walked for an hour and a half before returning to the library. Under the light, he looked at her blushing face and did not say anything. She did not say anything either. She lowered her head and waited for a while before looking up at him. He was still looking at her. She felt uncomfortable under his gaze. Are you hungry? I'll cook some noodles for you. You can leave after eating them. I don't want to leave anymore, Xing Buhua said. Then, you should leave early tomorrow. You shouldn't be discovered. There's only me, Mom, and Lin Shulan in this house now, Baya thought. Xing Buhua smiled. Do you want me to stay today? Baya felt that his way of asking was strange, but she was still loyal to her heart. Yes, but I'm worried about you. It's too tiring for you to rush here and there. After all, you still have a lot of things to do. What more can I ask for when I have a wife like this? Baya pursed her lips and smiled. What more can I ask for when I have a husband like this? Xing Buhua scratched her nose. That's a nice thing to say. All right, you should sleep early too. I'll leave first. Okay, be careful on the road, Baya said softly. Xing Buhua sighed. What's wrong? Let's go, he said decisively and took a leap. Then he jumped up to the roof and disappeared from her sight. Baya went out. Lin Shulan was guarding at the door. Madam, you're out? Baya looked at the time on her phone. It was already 2 o'clock. Go back to your room and sleep. You don't have to guard me like this in the future. It's my duty to protect you. But you have to rest well to protect me better. I'll be fine at home. You don't have to do this in the future. Do you understand? Okay, I understand. Baya patted Lin Shulan's shoulder and walked back to her room. She turned on the water and lay in the bathtub. She recalled the scene of her meeting with Gu Lingqing. His personality had changed a lot. However, it made sense. Actors acted for the sake of their dreams and lives. They were acting for the sake of their lives, so it was impossible for there to be any flaws. After soaking for half an hour, she felt dizzy. When she came out of the bathroom and found the bed, she wanted to sleep. His cell phone rang. Seeing that it was Leng Shuai, she remembered what she had asked Leng Shuai to do. If Leng Shuai called at this time, there should be a result. Baya perked up and answered the call. Madam, something happened, Leng Shuai said solemnly. What happened? Baya asked worriedly. Our men went into Xiong Dani's villa and found that Xiong Dani was already dead. When he was looking for the safe, he was caught by Su Jiran. What? Baya sat up in shock. Was it a trap set by a Ling or Su Jiran? How could it be so coincidental? I'll call and ask. I'll contact you later. Also check the Sky Eye. Did anyone go to Xiong Dani's house? Baya said anxiously. The prerequisite for the Sky Eye is to have surveillance cameras. However, the surveillance cameras near Xiong Dani's house are all broken. I'm looking for the surveillance cameras closest to her house and checking them, Leng Shuai reported. So, it must be premeditated. I'll contact you later. Baya hung up the phone and called Su Jiran. The phone rang 5 times before Su Jiran answered. Is it convenient for you to talk now? Baya asked. Yes, Su Jiran answered solemnly. I promise you that the person who killed your mother is not my man, Baya said straightforwardly. Why is your man at my mother's house? Su Jiran asked. Baya thought for a while. Su Jiran was too smart. If she was lying, he would definitely be able to tell, and it would be self-defeating. A Ling came to me and said that he saw your mother hide something important in the safe. It should be about Shanao. I wanted to know what it was, so I sent someone there. However, I heard that my man found that Xiong Dani was already dead. I'm curious. You don't usually go back. Why are you going back at that time? Baya asked in confusion. My mother called me and asked me to go back. She said that she had something important to tell me, Su Jiran said. Su Jiran, my man is definitely not the murderer who killed your mother, Baya said with certainty. Let's meet her. Is it convenient for you to come to my mother's house now? Su Jiran said solemnly. Okay, I'll come over now, Baya said and got up immediately. Lin Shulan had just fallen asleep. Baya did not wake her up. She asked a soldier on duty to send her to Xiong Dani's house. On the way, she told herself that if she did not sleep, she would not have the energy tomorrow and her mind would not be clear. So she forced herself to take a nap. She slept very lightly. She woke up more than 10 times on the way from home to Xiong Dani's house. When she was about to reach Xiong Dani's house, she could not fall asleep at all. After getting out of the car, Su Jiran stood at the door with one hand in his pocket. He was wearing thin clothes and his face was very solemn. Baya knew about Su Jiran and Xiong Dani. Su Jiran was adopted by Xiong Dani. He was indebted to Xiong Dani. They had a good relationship. He must be very sad about Xiong Dani's sudden death. Is she in the room now? Baya asked. She was referring to Xiong Dani. Venerable Chiu is inside. Do you want to take a look or go to my room directly? Su Jiran asked. Baya knew Leng Qiuzuan. He was a very good detective and also a good friend of Su Jiran. They had solved the castle case together before, so they did not have a good relationship. Let me take a look, Baya said. If Xiongdani was murdered, she would try her best to find the killer's flaws and clear her people's names. Su Jiaran looked at the person standing behind him and ordered, "Take her to my mother's room." Yes. The person in front led the way. Baya followed behind the person and looked back at Su Jiaran. He was still standing at the door motionless. Faintly, there was a sense of sadness. In her heart, he was a person so powerful that it was suffocating. Every move he made was full of conspiracy, strategy, tactics, and mind. He was the best person she had ever met. He was so invincible, yet he also had a sad side. Su Jiaran was not a god, but a human. "We're here," the person leading the way said and pushed the door open. Baya stepped in and heard Leng Qiuzuan's displeased voice. "Who allowed you to come in? Get out." Baya ignored him and continued to walk in. The room was a mess. Xiongdani's clothes, bag, and shoes were all on the floor. Xiongdani was nailed to the cupboard. There were 3 nails on her forehead, and 2 on each side of her cheeks. Her eyes were gouged out, and her tongue was cut off and thrown into the cupboard. Her mouth, however, was sewn shut with steel wire. There were 2 nails on her neck and 3 on each of her shoulders. Chapter 512. On her abdomen there was a very large nail. The other 3 red nails were nailed to the special parts of the female body, from the color and distribution of the blood, as well as the special diagnosis of the wound. The eyes were dug out when Xiongdani was alive, and the nail on her forehead was nailed when she was alive. Playing with the nail on her forehead, Xiongdani was at least in shock. The murderer cleaned up the blood stains on her body, and then left other injuries. The body appeared to be hardened, and the temperature of the air conditioner in the room was very high. The murderer wanted to blur the time of death. "What's the temperature of the rectum?" Baya asked Leng Qiuzuan solemnly. Leng Qiuzuan looked at her coldly, very unwelcoming, and with a repulsive tone he asked, "Who are you? This place is not a place that anyone can come in. Su Jiaran is at the door now, and I was brought here by his men. Who do you think I am?" Baya replied. Leng Qiuzuan stood up and threw down his gloves. "Where did Su Jiaran find such a silly girl? Is he trying to make me his apprentice?" "No," Baya said, too lazy to care about Leng Qiuzuan. He would probably report to Su Jiaran. She just had to ask Su Jiaran for it. She continued to look around the room. There were signs of a fight, and there were scratches on the walls. Xiongdani's hand was chopped off but not taken away. The murderer should be very confident that there were no skin or other tissues left. The lock was not broken. "When you came in, did you find any clothes or gloves that Xiongdani wore outside?" Baya asked Leng Qiuzuan again. Leng Qiuzuan looked at her coldly, pursed his lips and said nothing. Baya guessed that she would not say anything, so she walked to the window and looked outside. The sky was still dark. She turned on the flashlight on her phone and scanned outside. She vaguely saw a small glass bottle hidden in the lawn. Xiongdani is a neat freak. She doesn't allow glass bottles in the lawn, even if they are fake grass. "Su Jiaran, come here, Su Jiaran," Baya shouted. Hearing her voice, Su Jiaran walked towards the door without looking at Xiongdani. Baya picked up a windbreaker from the ground and covered Xiongdani with it. "Did you call the police?" Baya asked. Su Jiaran nodded. "I just reported it. Have you seen everything you need to see? Call a Ling over now. She said she saw your mom's safe. Ask her to identify where the safe is. Also, I have a few things to ask you, but before that, help me pick up something," Baya said. "What is it?" Baya turned on the flashlight on her phone and shone it on the lawn. "There's a glass bottle there." When Leng Qiuzuan heard the glass bottle on the lawn, he immediately stood up and jumped out of the window. He picked up the glass bottle and asked Baya, "What is this?" "An essential oil bottle. Do you still have clean gloves?" Baya asked. Leng Qiuzuan took out a new pair of rubber gloves from his pocket and gave them to Baya. Baya opened the bottle cap and saw the note inside. She breathed a sigh of relief. Leng Qiuzuan looked at Baya and asked in surprise, "How did you know?" "Luck." Baya was unwilling to say more. "Give me the pliers." Although Lung Chiozuan was unwilling, he still handed the pliers to Baiya. Baiya took out the paper and opened it. There was only one sentence written on it. The thing is in the original place. The light in Baiya's eyes dimmed. What does this sentence mean? Lung Chiozuan asked in confusion. When Baiya heard the siren outside, she put the note back into the bottle, twisted the cap, and handed it to Su Jieran. Hide it first. Also, the person wasn't killed by my people. Can you let him go first? This is what I wanted to tell you. Get in the car first. I'll talk to you after I'm done here, Su Jieran said in a deep voice. Baiya heard the siren getting closer and closer, so she got in the car first. She saw a lot of police coming and blocking the cordon. There were 4 police officers outside the door. She picked up her phone and saw that it was almost 5 o'clock. She closed her eyes and pretended to sleep. After some time, the car door was opened. Baiya was a light sleeper. She opened her eyes. It was already dawn. She looked at the clock and saw that it was almost 6 o'clock. She sat up straight and twisted her neck to wake herself up. What did he say? When I called you, Lung Chiozuan said that according to the temperature of the body's rectum, my mother has been dead for 5 to 6 hours. But I just received a call from my mother an hour ago. She said that she had something important to tell me. Baiya was doubtful. That's impossible. According to the livor mortis on your mother's feet, she has been dead for at least 4 to 6 hours. I don't believe in ghosts in this world, but there are many ways to pretend to be ghosts. For example, they could have recorded your mother's words first. So I have reason to believe that this is a premeditated and planned incident. My every move is under the surveillance of the other party. I caught the murderer on the spot. If you let the murderer go just because you said a few words, the other party will guess our relationship, Su Jieran said in a deep voice. You are a very smart person. You should know very well that the murderer is not one of my people. The person who killed your mother hates your mother very much. Even if I know that your people did not kill her, your people are in my hands, and I am Sheng Dongqing's people. Under normal circumstances, what do you think I will do? Su Jieran asked. Baiya frowned. She looked at Su Jieran's eyes and did not say anything. I will definitely threaten you, scare you, and set you up. But fortunately, I can be impulsive and rebellious for you. So, you have to come to my side. I will follow the normal procedure and let your people go. This is my condition. Baiya was instantly annoyed. Su Jieran, you still haven't given up on me? I can't possibly like you. It's fine as long as you don't fall for me. Don't worry, I won't touch you. I just want to help you, but the condition is that I am still alive. Baiya turned her face away. She could not live like this by Su Jieran's side. She was not completely at ease with him, but she had to be someone. She could not lose her life because of a stain. If that happened, she would also lose people's trust. Gu Lingqing would understand her. I will only stay by your side for a month. After a month, you have to let me go. Baiya made a new request. Su Jieran nodded. Sure. Anyway, this 1 month is just a formality. What do you want to ask me? Ask away. The first is the time of the phone call. You have already told me that this is a deep conspiracy. The second question is, I remember that there is a loyal maid in your mother's house. Where did she go? Baiya asked. Su Jieran was stunned. If Baiya had not mentioned it, he would not have realized that his maid seemed to have disappeared. She was not in the villa. Chapter 5:13. Baiya waited for him to hang up and continued. Are the windows in your mother's house soundproof? Su Jieran shook his head. This is an old house. It's not that advanced, and it uses ordinary windows. Your mother's tongue was cut off. This was the first step. They did not let your mother make a sound, and then they sealed her lips. Some scars will gradually appear after 24 hours of death. I think your mother's shoulders and face will be bruised. But even if her mouth was sealed, she should have made some unusual sounds before that. You can go and check the people next door, and see if they heard or saw anything. I will hand it over to the police. Lung Chiozuan will be directly involved in the investigation. He will report to me every day. You can listen to him, Su Jieran said in a low voice. Maybe it was because of the death of his mother. Right now, Su Jiran was no longer as sharp as he was 2 years ago and had become more reserved. The environment could indeed change a person's thoughts and state. Also, your mother wrote this sentence very carelessly and anxiously. Even the container for the note was the essential oil bottle on the dresser. She did not have time to pour the essential oil, which means your mother was in a hurry. She was worried that the note would fall into the hands of the other party, so she wrote it very vaguely. But your mother did not write who killed her, which means she did not know who the other party was. When your mother was killed, I suspect that the news was leaked. Others knew that your mother had evidence, which led to her death. She might have told you or Shin-eo at the very beginning. If she told you, you have to think about it carefully. Also, your mother was tortured to death. The abuser dug out her eyes because he thought your mother saw something she should not have seen. This may have something to do with your mother knowing other people's secrets. She sealed her lips because the abuser felt that your mother was too talkative. She took off her clothes and stamped on her feminine parts. It must have been your mother's features that humiliated him. Shin-eo's wife? Su Jiran blurted out. Not necessarily, but we can't rule it out. The nails on her body are all the same except for the 3 female nails. Let's wait for the identification department to identify whether these nails belong to 1 or 2 batches. The abuser is either a pervert or someone who hates your mother to the core. You should look for your mother's housekeeper first. She might have found something. Bai Ye's eyes were so sore that she could barely open them. If he had known earlier, he would have taken a good nap the night before yesterday. She hadn't slept much for 2 days. You should rest for a while. I'll send you back to rest, Su Jiran said. Bai Ye leaned back in her chair. No need. My men will send me back. I'm not sending you to your house. I'm sending you to my house. I'm going to negotiate with Sheng Dongcheng later. Don't tell me you don't want your people to be locked up. Bai Ye stared at Su Jiran, frowned and said worriedly, You said not to touch me and let me go after a month. I didn't want to let you go before. As a result, you're getting further and further away from me. If I touch you, you'll never forgive me for the rest of your life. Don't talk to me like this. Don't worry, I swear that if you don't agree, I won't force you. Let's go. You're too tired. Go back and rest. Bai Ye was weak and dizzy. She closed her eyes and fell asleep. He asked his men to come and drive. The soldiers stopped in front of his men. His men were about to fight with the soldiers. Su Jiran didn't stop them and let them fight. He had a lot of men. Bai Ye only brought 1 soldier. Soon the soldier was subdued. Su Jiran opened the window and said to the soldier, Your wife left with me voluntarily. If you don't believe me, ask Ling Shui to call her. Su Jiran signaled his men to put down the soldier. He got out of the car, picked up Bai Ye, and put her in his nanny car. His men drove away. He lay next to Bai Ye and stared at Bai Ye's sleeping face. He liked beautiful women, but he had his own standards. The previous Bai Ye didn't meet his standards. He also thought that he couldn't like Bai Ye. But he liked her. He liked that she was educated and reasonable. He liked that she was understanding. He liked that she never pestered him. She was strong, independent, self-respecting, and self-loving. In this impetuous society, she was a rare breath of fresh air. She didn't curry favor with those in power, didn't play with people's feelings, treated people sincerely, was soft-hearted, and had a rare pure heart. What he fell in love with was her heart, character, and character. Now she had changed. Even her appearance was the woman of his dreams. Unfortunately, the person she loved was not him. Was this what he called a self-inflicted disaster? He was tired of playing with her. Right now, he just wanted to settle down with her and live a simple, ordinary, and blissful life together. Bai Ye woke up. She opened her eyes and saw Su Jiran guarding by her window. It was already dark, and the bedside lamp was emitting an orange light. What time is it? Bai Ye asked. It's 7 in the evening. Are you hungry? I've asked someone to prepare your favorite food. I'll ask them to heat it up. Su Jiran said softly, got up, and walked out of the door. Bai Ye was a little sleepy. She sat up, picked up her bag on the bedside table, and took out her phone. The phone was silent, and there were many caller ID. She called Ling Shui first. Madam, you're at Su Jiran's place now. What's going on? Why aren't you picking up the phone? If you don't pick up the phone, I'm going to go straight in. Leng Shuai said anxiously. I just woke up now. I'm sorry. It's like this. You don't have to worry about me. Su Jiran promised not to touch me. He'll let me go in a month. This way, our people can go through the normal process and be released, Baya explained. What's going on? What normal process? Our people are locked up in prison now, and all the testimonies are against us, Leng Shuai said anxiously. Let me ask. Baya took the phone and got out of bed. She opened the door and bumped into Su Jiran, who was walking over. Leng Shuai said that our people are locked up in prison. What's going on? Baya asked worriedly. Don't worry. I've already told your people to pretend to be thieves. I'll tell them to let them out in a while, Su Jiran said and made the call. Baya picked up the phone. You heard it. Our people will be released in a while. What about you? Are you sure you're okay? The chief will be anxious if he knows. Baya thought of Xingbuhua. She had promised Xingbuhua to help him tonight. It seemed like she couldn't. Chapter 514. Seeing that Su Jiran had finished his call, Baya walked over. That's all. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. If anything happens, I'll call you again. Baya hung up the phone and suddenly thought of something. She asked Su Jiran, You didn't install a surveillance camera in my phone when I was sleeping, did you? I did in the past. Do you think I would dare to do it again? Su Jiran asked. Baya saw that he really looked like a prodigal son who had turned over a new leaf. I believe you. Let's have dinner. You've slept for a long time. Su Jiran walked forward. Baya followed behind him and looked at Su Jiran's maid downstairs. Su Jiran, did Aling go there afterward? Yes. She said that the safe was in the cabinet, but it's gone, Su Jiran said. The things are still in the same place. Where was the safe placed in the beginning? Baya asked. Su Jiran paused. I'll bring someone to search the room later. Also, where did Aling warn you that she had evidence? Was it here, with your mother, or somewhere else? Baya asked. It's here. What's wrong? Su Jiran frowned. Hold on. Baya called Aling. The call was picked up after 3 rings. Sister Wu Nian, let me tell you. I'm scared to death. Su Jiran's mother is dead. She died a horrible death. I heard that her body was full of nails. It's so scary, Aling said in fear. Yes. Aling, who else did you tell besides me that Xiong Dani had evidence of her and Shen Ao being together? Baya asked. You and Su Jiran. I don't know anyone else. Why? Were they killed because of this? That's scary. I quite like Auntie Xiong. I don't know. The police are still investigating. Have you had dinner? Baya asked. Yes, have you eaten? Can I go to your house to play with you now? I'm eating now. I'm outside. I'll contact you later, said Baya. All right, remember to contact me. I'm bored to death. Su Jiran is ignoring me again. Okay. Baya hung up the phone and looked at Su Jiran. What's wrong? Su Jiran looked at Baya suspiciously. Aling said that the evidence is that your mother and Shen Ao were together. I think it's most likely that Shen Ao killed your mother, Baya said. Okay, replied Su Jiran. I know you'll hand it over to Sheng Dongqing after you find it. But Sheng Dongqing should have known about it long ago. Doesn't Sheng Dongqing have evidence that Shen Ao and your mother were together? Baya asked. Su Jiran felt that the way Baya asked the question was a little strange. I'm not sure about that. You know. Baya kicked Su Jiran. Su Jiran was puzzled and looked at Baya. I'll go with you later to see if we missed any details, Baya said. Su Jiran nodded. Baya picked up her chopsticks and swept the dishes on the table. Forget it. I'm not eating. Let's go now. What's wrong? I have no appetite. Baya walked out of the room. Su Jiran did not eat either. He followed her out and opened the door of the car. Aren't you going to check if there are any surveillance cameras or bombs in the car? Asked Baya as she stood outside the car door. Do you check every time you go out? Su Jiran was surprised. I'm already very careful. I avoided the explosion of the plane and the tampering in the car, But I didn't avoid people's hearts. I'm careful every day. In fact, it's good to be a little more ordinary. I keep recalling the days when I was a doctor. It was busy, fulfilling, and peaceful. Baya said in a low voice. Okay, I'll get someone to check. Su Jiran made a call. Baya looked into the room. The maid stuck her head out and looked in her direction. When she met Baya's gaze, she shrank her head back. Baya curled up the corner of her mouth. She was curious. It was not a good thing. After a while, Su Jiran's men came with a box. They opened the detector and the detector made a beeping warning sound. Su Jiran looked at Baya in surprise. Baya looked at him with drooping eyes. He made a call. Check the third eye for me. Who tampered with my car in the past few days? Su Jiran's men found the surveillance camera under the car and handed it to Su Jiran. Go to the room and check it too, Baya said in a low voice. Su Jiran's men looked at Su Jiran. Go and check it carefully, Su Jiran ordered. His men walked towards the room. You expected it? Su Jiran asked Baya in surprise. Aling said that you were the only one I told about this. I'm very sure that there are no surveillance cameras in my house, and my men won't betray me. It was another group of people who killed your mother. It seems that they did it for evidence. As soon as Aling said that, something happened to your mother at night. If it wasn't from you, then it was from me. Since there's a mole here, monitoring is the most common thing a guilty person would do. You're a very cautious and vigilant person. You often go in and out of some special occasions, and there's anti-monitoring in special occasions. So, they won't tamper with your body or your phone. The places you spend the most time are the car and the room. The mole definitely won't let go of these two places, Baya analyzed. It could also be that my mother accidentally revealed it? Su Jiran guessed. Your mother hid it for so many years. She didn't even reveal it to you, her only relative. Who do you think she would reveal it to? Even if she wanted to threaten someone, given the current situation, there's no need for her to do so. So it's impossible that she leaked it, Baya said with certainty. Su Jiran understood. His sharp gaze swept to the door. He strode in and asked his men, how's the check going? There are 12 places in the room where the surveillance is installed. Almost every room is involved, Su Jiran's men reported. Su Jiran gritted his teeth and looked at the maid in the room. The maid lowered her head in fear. Baya looked at her and roughly guessed it. She recalled what she said today, and whether there were any secrets. Leng Shui called her. There were no other problems. Finally, she said, I'll explain to him in the future. Xiong Dani wrote a sentence before she died. The things are in the first place. If I'm not wrong, these things are evidence. We'll try our best to find them. He was lucky that she didn't mention Gu Lingqing. But, Su Jiran, get someone to go to your mother's place as soon as possible. I suspect that someone has already gone there, Baya said worriedly. Su Jiran was about to make the call when a call came in. He picked it up. Baya saw that his face was especially gloomy and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. Chapter 5:15. I found out who the traitor is and I'll deal with it. Su Jiran said coldly. Her. Baya glanced at the maid in the hall. Su Jiran nodded. Baya didn't go upstairs but walked to the maid. The maid's face was pale, and she put her hands in her pockets. If you want your family to live a life worse than death, you can kill yourself, Baya said. The maid stared at Baya in surprise, and then looked at Su Jiran. She thought for a moment, and then knelt on the ground. It was Minister Sheng who asked me to do this. Otherwise, my children and grandchildren won't live. I can't do anything about it. Mr. Su, please spare my family. I'm asking you a question, and you should answer it properly. Baya stood in front of Su Jiran and asked. The maid kowtowed and didn't lift her head. When was the surveillance in the room installed? Baya asked. Today Mr. Su is not at home today, and Minister Sheng's people came to install it. The maid reported. Is this surveillance video directly connected to Sheng Dongqing's room? Or yours? It's here, and then I'll send it to Minister Sheng. Have you sent it today? Baya asked. Not yet. The maid looked up and answered. Aling said that Xiong Dani had evidence. Did you say that? Baya continued to ask. The maid paused and nodded. I'm done, Baya said and looked at Sujiran. The fire in Sujiran's eyes was jumping. When did you become Sheng Dongqing's man? After Minister Sheng was attacked last time, he came to me. The maid explained. How much did you tell him? Sujiran narrowed his eyes. Not much. This is the first time I report it. I didn't expect your mother to be gone. I'm sorry, Mr. Su, I won't dare to do it again. Sujiran nodded and glanced outside. You can go now. The maid knelt on the ground and begged. Mr. Su, please save me. If I am driven out of your place, I will die. Minister Sheng will not let me go. I'm already being polite by not doing it myself. The things are in the original place. I haven't reported this yet. The maid negotiated. A sharp glint flashed across Sujiran's eyes. Then it seems that I can't let you leave alive. The maid was shocked and fell to the ground. She saw Baya from the corner of her eyes and hugged Baya's leg, pleading. Female Bodhisattva, save me, save me. Baya squatted down in front of her. How do you want me to save you? You plead with Mr. Su, he brought you here, he will definitely listen to you. The maid said with tears in her eyes. Baya curled his lips. Then how do you think Sujiran will save you? The maid was stunned. She looked at Sujiran and said to Baya, I believe that as long as Mr. Su agrees, he will definitely be able to save me. How about we let you continue to stay here? And you will report according to our requirements. What do you think? How can you explain to Sheng Dongqing and ensure the safety of you and your family? Baya asked. Okay, I'll be loyal to you. I won't be disloyal. The maid kowtowed to Baya. Baya looked at Sujiran. He gritted his teeth and narrowed his eyes. The sharpness did not diminish, but he was murderous and angry. Baya blocked his line of sight. I know you are very angry now, thinking that she killed your mother, but in fact she was just a guide. Moreover, she did it to save the lives of her family. Strictly speaking, her character is not bad. Everyone will make mistakes when facing the person they love the most. Sujiran gradually calmed down and looked at Baya. Let's go out to eat first. You should be hungry. If you want to keep her, you can't remove the surveillance. Baya reminded. Sujiran looked at his subordinates and ordered. Don't remove the surveillance first. I need to think about it. Lock her up in the dungeon first. I will deal with her when I come back later. Yes. Sujiran did not look at the maid again. He was afraid that if he looked at her one more time, he would throw her out to feed the dogs. Baya followed behind Sujiran and got into the car. He did not call his subordinates and drove himself. Sheng Dongqing is very smart, Baya said. He is more scheming than his father. He is more meticulous and cruel. He never trusts anyone. I once sent a woman to his side without revealing anything. No matter how much he liked her, she only stayed by his side for half a year before he abandoned her. Sujiran said in a low voice. He is very suspicious. He is meticulous and cautious. He will even use someone else to do his dirty work. I think it was Shun Ao or his wife who did it. Baya guessed. Why? Sujiran did not understand. Does your mother have any other men besides Shun Ao? No, I am sure about that. My mother, she only has one man, Shun Ao. So Shun Ao's wife did not dare to touch your mother when she did not do anything wrong. But when your mother did something that Shun Ao thought was unforgivable, Shun Ao's wife would not go easy on her. I have analyzed it before. Sheng Dongqing would not humiliate the corpse, especially in the female parts. Only Shun Ao's wife would have such a motive. Sujiran held the steering wheel tightly. I will definitely tear that woman into pieces. Sheng Dongqing is very smart. If he does it himself and you find out, you will definitely not let him go. So he asked Shun Ao to do it. Anyway, his relationship with Shun Yin is not good. He can't get rid of the Shun family himself. So he will use you to do it. Baya narrowed her eyes and said. Sujiran sneered. This old fox has played a good hand. Who gave you your previous position? Baya asked. Shun Ao. Then you have to be careful. If they kill your mother, they will not let you be in power. They might even charge you with a groundless crime. Sujiran frowned and sped up. But when he thought of Baya's pregnancy, he slowed down and said to Baya, "It doesn't matter even if they remove me from my position. I have made a lot of connections in the past few years, and many of them are unknown to Sheng Dongqing and Shenao." Baya believed that Su Jiran's strategy was not inferior to Shen Yi's, nor would it be inferior to Sheng Dongqing's. "I have a suggestion." "What is it?" Su Jiran looked at Baya. "In fact, there won't be any results even if you continue to investigate this case. They must have planned to kill your mother. Just like Sheng Dongqing did so many bad things, but he didn't leave any evidence. If you continue to investigate, it will only put you in danger. So, endure it. Look for the so-called evidence until you have the ability to fight back. Defeat the enemy with one move. Instead of killing your maid, let Sheng Dongqing betray you. Otherwise, make good use of this maid and reveal the information we want to reveal," Baya said. Just then her phone rang. She looked at the unfamiliar caller ID and answered it suspiciously. Chapter 5:16. I'll tell you about it later," Baya said softly. "Where are you now?" Xing Buhua's decibel rose a few decibels. He was filled with anger, and his emotions were conveyed to her ears through the phone. "Well, go eat." "I'm so angry that I can't even eat." "How dare you go eat?" Xing Buhua was even angrier. She didn't have his number, so she couldn't tell him in advance. The matter was too urgent, and there was no room for her to breathe. However, in the end, she was still in the wrong, so she didn't say anything. "Send me the location of your phone," Xing Buhua ordered. After that, he felt that it wasn't enough, so he added, "If you don't send it, I'll definitely kill you." After that, he hung up the phone. Baya paused. If it was the previous Gu Lingqing, he would definitely ask in a deep voice, "Where is it?" "Don't go, Baya. If you want to go, you can try." After that, he wouldn't say anything else. He would never say something like, "I'm so angry that I can't even eat. How dare you go eat?" He was very calm, a man of few words, simple and direct. The current him was really good at disguising himself. Baya was in a daze for a while. "Who's on the phone?" Su Jiran asked. "A friend." Su Jiran raised the corner of his mouth. "Your only friend is Lu Shuang." This sentence made her faintly uncomfortable. She looked at Su Jiran. "That depends on your definition of a friend. Sometimes you can call someone a friend after just meeting them once." Su Jiran didn't argue with her. He seemed to deliberately let her go, and stopped the car in front of the Wonka restaurant. Baya saw that he was being easy to talk to, and felt that she was being sarcastic. Everyone was changing, or in other words, they were growing up. "Sorry," Baya said, opened the car door, got out, and walked towards the restaurant. Su Jiran followed behind her. For a while he was at a loss. Did he fall in love with Baya, or did he miss her because he couldn't have her? He thought that in the 2 years after Baya died, he still had many girlfriends. He was looking for Baya's shadow in every one of his girlfriends, but in the end, none of them were Baya. It was rare for a girl to realize that she was in the wrong after losing her temper, and immediately apologize. But Baya could. She was always scrutinizing herself, not letting others burden her, doing what she could, only giving, not asking for anything in return. The more he thought about it, the more reluctant he felt. He was stupid to the point of exploding. He had lost the most important thing in his life, and the rest of his life was colorless. Now that Gu Lingqing was dead, would he still have a chance if he worked hard? Baya sat down, took the menu from the waiter, and ordered 3 dishes and 1 soup. Eggs with tomatoes, pan-fried beef ribs, crab roe tofu, and clam rib soup. Su Jiran listened to Baya's list of dishes, and his eyes were a little moist. He pulled out the chair and sat down, so much so that his hand holding the glass of water was trembling. His 2 favorite dishes were pan-fried beef ribs and clam. His mother didn't remember his 2 favorite dishes, but Baya did. He spent all his effort to please those vases, but he neglected that there was once a person who really loved him. He remembered that once he caught a cold, it was also Baya who had been taking care of him. Even when he attacked her with vicious words, she didn't leave. He regretted it so much. He wanted to go back to 8 years ago, and he must cherish her. Unfortunately, when he was young, He was too immature, arrogant, and impetuous. After suffering enough, it was too late for regrets. Do you want some red wine? Baya asked softly. Su Jiaran looked at her watery eyes and his Adam's apple moved. He swallowed the bitterness and said softly, No, you forgot that I drove here. I'm going to wash my hands. Baya stood up holding the phone. She had to explain to Xing Buhua, so that he wouldn't be anxious. She still knew a little about Gu Lingqing's temper and character. She walked into the washroom, and after making sure there was no one around, she called. The call was answered with a beep. Where's the location? Is your hand broken, or is your brain damaged? Who allowed you to go to Su Jiaran's place? Are you trying to piss me off because I'm not dead? If you want to piss me off, I'll take you with me. Xing Buhua said angrily. That. I don't want to listen to that. Xing Buhua interrupted her words. Baya saw someone coming, but she didn't say anything. Xing Buhua didn't hang up the phone. After waiting for a while, seeing that Baya didn't say anything, he urged, What's that? Baya slightly raised the corner of her mouth, walked up the stairs to the private room on the second floor, closed the door, and said in a low voice, Something happened here. I sent someone to Xiong Dani's house to get something. Xiong Dani is dead, and my man was caught by Su Jiaran. So, he asked you to go to his place and let your man go. Xing Buhua continued. Su Jiaran promised not to touch me, and let me leave in a month. Baya continued to explain. Not touch you, let you leave? You look smart, but you're stupid. What's in it for him? Letting your man go is equivalent to going against Sheng Dongcheng. Baya didn't like it. I think he's helping me. If he's helping you, he won't threaten you like this. That's because he has to answer to Sheng Dongcheng. Baya, you're speaking for him now. Xing Buhua's voice became gloomy. Baya knew that he cared about Su Jiaran. What happened in the past was like a poisonous snake to both of them. At that time, Su Jiaran also threatened her to stay by his side in exchange for Gu Lingqing's freedom. She could understand Gu Lingqing's anger now. Calm down and listen to my explanation. I can't calm down now. I want to see you. Send me your location immediately. Xing Buhua ordered. Listen to me. I'm not speaking for Su Jiaran, but for myself. I'm telling you, the situation was very dangerous at that time. I can't just watch my men slander me and do nothing. They trust me and help me. I won't be in danger if I stay by Su Jiaran's side. I swear. But Sheng Dongqing seems to be suspicious of Su Jiaran. I'm worried that someone will follow Su Jiaran. If you come over, you'll be easily discovered, and things won't end well. You'll also be easily exposed. Just wait a little longer. As for the rest, I'll tell you when we meet, Baya said seriously. I'll say it one last time. Send me your location, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. Baya was speechless. She felt helpless. Forget it, she believed in Gu Lingqing's ability. Which WeChat are you using now? Baya asked. Chapter 517. Baya sighed helplessly. She added him on WeChat and sent the location to him. I'll deal with you when I get there, Xing Buhua said directly. Baya didn't reply when she saw his WeChat message. They were in a critical situation now. What if someone found out that he was Gu Lingqing? But she was to blame. She knew that Gu Lingqing cared about Su Jiaran. But fate had dragged her and Su Jiaran together. Baya was no longer as innocent as she used to be. She admitted that she had ordered the dishes on purpose. Because she knew that with Su Jiaran's help, her and Gu Lingqing's future would be smoother. Baya had changed. Sometimes she felt scared. But if she didn't change in life, she would be swallowed in life. She exhaled again, opened the door of the private room, went downstairs, washed her hands, and sat down at the dining table. There was an egg with tomatoes on it. I'm sorry. Baya apologized. You don't have to be so polite with me, Su Jiaran said with a smile. She looked at his good-looking face, and the image of Gu Lingqing's angry face flashed through her mind. She might as well confess. She was still afraid that he would be angry. Su Jiaran, I ordered your favorite dishes because I want to thank you for your help. Secondly, I want to make friends with you with sincerity. Let's deal with Sheng Dongqing and Shen Ao together. I promised you. Don't worry. I owe you this. I'm sorry for what I did to you in the past. Su Jiran apologized sincerely. Emotions are very strange things. People who used to be good friends will become enemies over time. People who used to be enemies will become good friends because of common interests. Relationships are always changing. They just lack a breakthrough. Maybe we are friends now, and we will be enemies in the future. Baya didn't trust him. Su Jiran suddenly held her hand. Baya was shocked and pulled his hand out. He did not force her. He smiled and said, I said that I will protect you in the future. I mean it. In my heart, there is only Gu Lingqing, forever and ever. There will never be anyone else, Baya said with certainty. I know. You have a one-track mind. I didn't cherish you. Su Jiran smiled. She didn't know what else to say, so she lowered her head and ate. Half an hour later, a girl walked over and stood in front of Su Jiran. She called out pitifully, Jiran. Baya looked at the long-haired girl. It was probably another girl who had been harmed by Su Jiran. She lowered her head and continued eating as if it had nothing to do with her. Su Jiran narrowed his eyes. Who are you? I'm pregnant, the girl said timidly. Su Jiran sneered and leaned back in his chair. He was a little lazy. That's impossible. I had a vasectomy a long time ago. How could I make you pregnant? Go find the man who made you pregnant. That's impossible. You're the only man I have. How could he not be yours? The girl said in disbelief. How many months are you pregnant? Su Jiran asked directly. 3 months, the girl said. Su Jiran sneered again. I've only touched one woman in the past 3 months. That woman isn't you. Have you forgotten? That day when you were drunk from water. I sent you home and we had sex in your house. You're living in Qingsong Court now, right? The girl said with tears in her eyes. Su Jiran paused. Even if that's the case, I had a vasectomy. I can't make you pregnant. Jiran, I was chased out by my family. If you don't want me, then I don't want to live anymore, the girl said in tears. I'm sorry, I'm not a philanthropist. If I don't want to live, then do as you please, Su Jiran said coldly. What? The girl was shocked. You're so heartless to me. She looked at Baya, her eyes filled with hatred. She's not someone you can provoke, Su Jiran said sternly. He looked at her sharply, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Why? Sob, why? You're my first man. Why do you have to treat me like this? Why? The girl said anxiously. Baya was annoyed. He frowned and looked at the girl. Let me tell you why. How many times have you met him? Just because he was drunk, you sent him home. When you saw that his family was rich, you willingly slept with him. Now you're blaming him for abandoning you. Isn't this all your fault? If you want others to love you, you must first love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect others to love you? The girl was speechless by Baya. Also, he said that it's a vasectomy. You're 3 months pregnant. We can check if it's his child through DNA. If it's his child, he should give you a sum of money to abort the child. If it's not his child, I can tell you that you won't even know how you died. Do you need to go to the hospital now? I happen to know someone, Baya said coldly. The girl paused. She thought for a moment, turned around and left. Baya continued to eat with her head lowered. Su Jiran smiled. He remembered that when she caught him in the act of adultery in the past, she could often make his female companions vomit blood in anger. She could also make him vomit blood in anger. At this moment, it seemed like they were still together. He still wanted to be together. Baya's phone rang. She saw that it was Xing Buhua calling. She panicked and stood up to answer the call. You've arrived, Baya said in a friendly tone. Come here. I promise I won't kill you. Baya didn't understand. The girl I sent to help was angered by you, and she ran away. I say, are you helping Su Jiran or me? Baya. Did you send that girl? I didn't know, Baya said awkwardly. Listen, walk forward. Keep walking. When I tell you to turn, you turn, Xing Buhua ordered. Baya hesitated for a moment and walked forward. She listened to him and walked to a junction. Walk left for 2 junctions and you'll see a market. Come to the 2nd floor, Xing Buhua said and hung up. Baya listened to him and walked upstairs. There were 4 expressionless men standing at the door. When they saw her, they pushed the door open. Xing Buhua's face was livid. He played with the phone in his hand and tapped the table from time to time. He adjusted the angle and looked at her coldly. His subordinates closed the door. Are you still angry? Baya walked towards him. He threw the phone on the table. What did you promise me? Not only did you fail, you even cheated on me. Am I still human if I'm not angry? For some reason, Baya was amused. According to his personality in the past, he would definitely put on a cold face and sulk alone, unwilling to talk to her. He was not human if he was not angry. This sentence was so funny. You're still laughing. Xing Buhua's voice rose a few decibels. Baya walked in front of him and squatted down. Chapter 5:18. Baya put her hands on his knees and promised, even if I die, I will not make you a cuckold. Xing Buhua was stunned and all his anger disappeared. He looked at her bright eyes and white teeth. His heart was beating so fast that there was a strange blush on his face. Have I told you that you are good at coaxing men? Baya covered her mouth and smiled. Coaxing people was the last thing she was good at, but she was willing to coax Gu Lingqing. She was afraid that he would be angry, unhappy and worried. She stood up and looked around. There was a kitchen inside. How did you find this house? Didn't you say that you didn't have dinner? I'll make dinner for you now. Xing Buhua held her hand. Baya looked at him. He pulled her to his side, put his arms around her waist and held her on his lap. I don't want dinner now. I want to eat you. Xing Buhua said hoarsely. Baya blushed and felt hot. She looked at the door in embarrassment. The soundproofing here is good. They can't hear what we say. Don't worry. Xing Buhua said in a low voice. Well, I suspect that Xiong Dani was killed by Shen Ao's wife. So, Shen Ao probably won't let Su Jiran have a position in the military. I'll think of a way to sow discord between Sheng Dongqing and Shen Ao. Although they are bound by interests and won't break up, we can divert their attention to each other. You'll be safer if you shift your focus, Baya said. Xing Buhua's eyes flashed with a strange light. Xiaoya. Baya's phone rang. She saw that it was Su Jiran. She stood up from Xing Buhua and walked to the side to answer the call. Xiaoya, where are you? Baya glanced at Xing Buhua. Su Jiran also had the third eye. She couldn't fool him. I'm at the market. Why did you go to the market? There's something I need to deal with. I'll come over now. Don't. Su Jiran hung up the phone without waiting for her reply. Baya looked at Xing Buhua, whose face was gloomy. Well, he said he's coming over now. Su Jiran also has the third eye. I won't panic. You can come and go without being discovered, right? Xing Buhua fixed his eyes on Baya. Baya felt uncomfortable under his gaze. She felt inexplicably guilty and lowered her head. I've blocked all the surveillance cameras around the market. I have a secret passage to leave this place. There won't be a problem. You can leave now. Baya felt guilty. I'm sorry. Xing Buhua turned his face away, obviously not accepting it. Seeing that he was unhappy, Baya also felt uncomfortable. She turned around and walked out of the room. As soon as she walked out of the market, Su Jiran ran towards her and asked worriedly, Are you okay? I'm fine, Su Jiran. I thought of something. We removed the surveillance cameras in the car. You asked someone to check on the third eye. Are those people reliable? Baya changed the topic and asked. They are. The third eye is mine. The surveillance cameras in the car are connected to the computer in the maid's room. I've asked someone to deal with it. It'll be fine. But there are no surveillance cameras in your car. According to Sheng Dongqing's character, he will definitely be suspicious. Su Jiran's eyes softened a little, and the corners of his mouth turned up. Are you worried about me? I originally thought that if we cooperated and acted, Sheng Dongqing wouldn't suspect you. But on second thought, Sheng Dongqing is a cautious person. Since we've already removed the surveillance in our car, he will definitely suspect us and guess that we're acting. I understand what you mean. I have an idea. Do you want to hear it? Baya asked. Okay. You go to Sheng Dongqing now and ask him if he has anything to do with what happened to your mother. According to Sheng Dongqing's character, he will definitely say Shen Ao. Ask him if he has any evidence. Wait, and then try to record it, Baiya suggested. Sheng Dongqing is very cautious. There are anti-surveillance cameras in his house. It won't be easy to record it. That's simple. When a person is guilty and agitated, they will be less cautious. First, lure Sheng Dongqing out of the room. It's best if it's something that will make him angry. For example, his woman has made him a cuckold. Then, you rush up and give him a punch before questioning him directly. He will tell us what we want to hear. But remember, you have to walk away angrily. But remember, you have to leave angrily immediately, because when Sheng Dongqing comes back to his senses, he may search you. At that time, if he finds out that there is a surveillance camera on you, you will be dead, Baiya said. Su Jiaran nodded and looked at her seductively. He wished that time would stop at this moment. He did not need to have sex with her. He just needed her to stay by his side. What's wrong? Baiya felt that his gaze was strange and asked in confusion. I think you look good, Su Jiaran said with a smile. Oh, how good. Baiya heard Xing Buhua's rustling voice and looked to the right in surprise. She did not know when he left the market, but why did he come back? Xing Buhua walked in front of Baiya and stood between her and Su Jiaran. He lowered his eyes and said with disdain, Your eyes are too big, your nose is too straight, it's obviously fake, your mouth is too small, it's hard to hold a banana in your mouth, your skin is too white, it's obviously unhealthy, and your face is so beautiful that it can bring disaster to the country and people. It's too good looking. Wasn't it good looking to bring disaster to the country and people? Baiya did not even have the time to reply to him. He turned around and squinted at Su Jiaran. I know her. I heard that I look like her husband. Who are you? Su Jiaran widened his eyes and looked at Xing Buhua. He had heard that a person who looked almost identical to Gu Lingqing had appeared recently. He had also checked with his third eye. They really looked alike. Looking at them up close, they looked even more alike. If he did not know that Song Shiyu only had one child, Gu Lingqing, he would really think that they were twins. You look like her husband, but you are not her husband. Baiya is not a person who looks at faces. Su Jiaran said defensively. He could feel the hostility from Xing Buhua. I wasn't interested in her at first, but now, I'm suddenly interested. Xing Buhua looked at Baiya. Beautiful. Beauty, let's talk. What? Baiya was confused by Xing Buhua. Xing Buhua curled up the corner of his mouth and waved his hand. Two bodyguards came over and restrained Baiya. Xing Buhua, don't you dare. Su Jiaran said sternly. Xing Buhua picked up the gun and pointed it at Su Jiaran's head. Do you think I dare? Shoot me if you dare. Su Jiaran rushed towards the bodyguards. Xing Buhua turned around unhurriedly. Baiya saw many people rushing out and blocking in front of Su Jiaran. All of them were skilled. Even if Su Jiaran had 3 heads and 6 arms, he would not be a match for more than 10 people. Xing Buhua got into the car leisurely. What are you doing? Baiya was confused. Chapter 519. What? Baiya's mind went blank for a moment. This is an act for Su Jiaran. He lifted her chin. This isn't for others to see. He lowered his head and kissed her lips. Because they were so close, she could smell the tobacco on his body. He smoked just now. She pushed him away a little. He followed her and stared at her lips. Her lips were too easy to kiss. They were soft, and he liked the scent on her body. She pushed him away a little more. He followed her again. Baiya was about to fall. She pressed her hands against his chest. Xing Buhua, you're too rash. Xing Buhua listened to her voice and continued to press on. If I don't act rashly when I see my woman, who else would I act rashly? Baiya. The car drove forward and she fell on the seat. His breath approached, and just as his lips touched hers, his tongue darted in and mixed with her breath, sweeping across every inch of her mouth. She was quite embarrassed. They had just eaten and she pushed him away. She couldn't push him away and he kissed her even more forcefully. She could hear the sound of her swallowing and her face was flushed. She had no choice but to accept his kiss. But she couldn't focus. What would Su Jiran think if he took her away so abruptly? What would he do if he was suspected? How should she cover for him? Suddenly, he knocked her on the head. He had hit her a little too hard. Baya stared at him with her eyes wide open. Don't let your imagination run wild. Feel me properly, he said domineeringly. Baya rubbed her head and sat up. Don't knock my head next time. I don't like it. It hurts. Will you remember it if it doesn't hurt? Do you think it's right to be intimate with another man? It looks like you two are getting along very well. Do you think it's suitable? Xingbuhua asked her many questions in a row. I'm talking to him about serious matters. Don't talk business with me. Remember, you are my woman. If I let you stay with another man, then I am not a man. Xingbuhua interrupted her. I'm worried that once you're exposed, they'll try to assassinate you again. Sheng Dongqing would rather kill 100 innocent people than let one of them go. We have to uproot him and Shenao so that we can live in peace in the future. Baya explained. I'll take care of these things. Sheng Dongqing, Shenao, I won't let any of them off. You just need to stay at home and take care of the fetus. Xingbuhua placed his hand on her abdomen. Baya felt the warmth of his palm. She patted the back of his hand and said softly, We've argued about this many times. If I watch you take risks alone and do nothing, I'll only be more anxious and uneasy. Let's fight together and move forward together. Xingbuhua looked at her deeply. A strange look flashed across his eyes. He also realized that strange look and frowned. Now that your men have been released, you don't have to stay with Su Jiran anymore. This was originally a cover to deceive Sheng Dongqing. It was done for Sheng Dongqing. If you take me away like this, Su Jiran will definitely come looking for you. If you're not Gu Lingqing, you'll definitely let me go, right? If you don't let me go, Sheng Dongqing will be suspicious. Lingqing, I can't live without you. Don't take risks again. Baya said worriedly. His displeasure deepened. Have you forgotten what you should call me again? Baya was helpless. No hua. We have to be careful with every step we take now. Xingbuhua's face turned cold. He said solemnly, Even if I die, I won't let my woman go to another man's side. I don't need her. I didn't go to anyone else's side, and I won't go to anyone else's side, Baya said. Seeing the roadblock in front of them, she had a bad feeling and called Leng Shuai. Leng Shuai, something happened here. Xingbuhua took me away. Su Jiran found a bunch of people to stop us. I'm worried that there will be casualties and unnecessary trouble. Hurry up and track my phone signal and bring people over, Baya said anxiously. Xingbuhua looked at Leng Shuai and narrowed his eyes. He looked a little gloomy. The car was stopped. The traffic officer ran over. Xingbuhua rolled down the window and said coldly, Who gave you the guts to stop my car? The traffic officer reported nervously. I'm sorry, we're just following orders. As soon as he finished speaking, Baya felt the car door on her side open. Su Jiran grabbed her arm and pulled her out. Xingbuhua's eyes shone with a murderous light. He got out of the car and slammed the door shut. He looked at Su Jiran sharply. Who are you to stop my car? My friend was kidnapped by you. Who are you? The police will be here soon. Why don't we go to the police station together and argue? Su Jiran said coldly. His men spontaneously walked up behind him. Kidnapped? Are you mistaken? She left with me willingly. Xingbuhua looked at Baya. Baya furrowed her eyebrows. She was a little annoyed. She didn't know why, but she felt that Gu Lingqing was too different from before. Even the smile on his face now had a kind of unfathomable gloom. His eyes were not so pure and clear. If he used this method to remove the suspicion that he was Gu Lingqing, he did it. Even she didn't think that he was Gu Lingqing. There was also an inexplicable sense of panic and fear. If he really wasn't Gu Lingqing, this thought made her even more flustered. It shouldn't be. He looked exactly like Gu Lingqing. There were no signs of plastic surgery. She turned around and faced Su Jiran. Let's go. Baya, stop. Xingbuhua ordered. Baya didn't stop. She walked forward and got into Su Jiran's car. Su Jiran drove away. Her phone rang immediately. She saw that it was Xingbuhua's call. She picked it up. What do you mean now? Xing Buhua asked angrily. What do you mean by it's you? You do look exactly the same as Gu Lingqing, and it makes my heart beat, but you are not Gu Lingqing. My husband is already dead. I know what I am doing. I do not know what purpose you have for flirting with me. I am not interested in the future if there is. In the future, if there's no need to contact me privately. Baiya hung up. Su Jiran looked at Baiya. He makes you feel conflicted? Confused, and at the same time. Baiya's eyes flickered. He didn't continue. I'm jealous of that guy's face, he said with jealousy. Baiya thought of Gu Lingqing's angry face. Her heart felt like it was pressed by a stone. Su Jiran, if I go back on my word and leave now, will Sheng Dongqing suspect you? Chapter 520. Baiya shook her head, a trace of confusion flashing through her eyes. The current Gu Lingqing, for some reason, gave her a very unfamiliar feeling. That feeling wasn't what the previous Gu Lingqing gave her. She still liked his calmness and introverted nature. It made her feel at ease. The current Gu Lingqing made her feel very impatient and unreasonable. She knew that he had his own motives. She shouldn't think like that. Su Jiran looked at Baiya, stopped the car by the roadside and looked at her. Baiya, can you promise me that you won't fall in love with Xing Buhua? I only love Gu Lingqing. Whether he's alive or dead, he's the only man I love. As long as he's alive, I'll love him. Even if he's dead, I'll still love him, Baiya said with certainty. At the same time, it also destroyed Su Jiran's hope. She knew that in order to rope in Su Jiran, she should give him hope, so that she could make use of him. But she couldn't do it. She didn't like to flirt with others, she didn't like to play with other people's feelings, and she didn't like to give people hope and then be completely disappointed. She had personally experienced the feeling of being played and disappointed. Su Jiran laughed bitterly. He knew why he had to have Baiya. He was used to playing with women. A woman's thoughts couldn't escape his eyes. He also knew why they wanted to suck up to him and please him. There were many women who had a few spare tires. Their love was never pure. Only she. As long as she fell in love, her love would be simple. In order to love someone, she would give up everything. How the hell did he lose her? Where are you going? I'll send you there, Su Jiran said in a low voice. Is everything all right on your side? Baiya asked worriedly. Su Jiran's eyes reddened. He looked at Baiya deeply. If I die for you one day, you'll remember me, right? Baiya pursed her lips and said nothing. Su Jiran grinned, and his eyes became misty. Since you won't remember me, why do you care about my life? Baiya turned her face away and looked out of the window. Tears streamed down her face as she wiped them away. Su Jiran kept looking at her. He knew very well how soft her heart was. He knew very well how hard her heart was. I'll definitely help you push it to Sheng Dongqing. Where are you going? Su Jiran asked. Baiya wiped her tears again, took a deep breath, and calmed down. I've called Leng Shuai over. If you let me go, Sheng Dongqing won't let you go. If Leng Shuai takes me away by force, you'll be expressing your hatred towards Leng Shuai. Sheng Dongqing will think that you're still useful. Maybe he will go against Shen Ao because of you. As for what your mother said, I think she was talking to you at the very beginning. Think carefully about where it will be. And, Baiya paused for a moment and said, death is actually very easy. Just sleep and never wake up again. For the dead, there's no pain, no worries, no emotions, and nothing else. Only those who truly love them will be sad and feel that every day is a torture. That's why I didn't commit suicide after you saved me 5 years ago. I don't want the people who love me to be sad and sad. Xiaoya. Su Jiran called softly. Using your sincerity to exchange for someone else's sincerity. Maybe your sincerity will be hurt, but one day, you'll meet someone who treats you sincerely. Even if you don't meet him, at least you'll have a clear conscience, right? Baiya also said softly. Su Jiran smiled faintly. You're younger than me, but you're actually more mature and rational than me. You also know how to love. It's never too late to change. I'm afraid that you won't change even if you die. Jiran looked at her with a gloomy expression. Jiran, you once betrayed me and hurt me. I don't want to hate you, but I won't be happy with a heart full of hatred. I almost killed you, Jiran said guiltily. It doesn't matter because you saved me 5 years ago. Perhaps this is the fate between us. We go around in circles, we entangle each other, we torture each other, we entangle each other. But Jiran don't love me. Perhaps what I'm saying will make you despair, but only despair will allow you to walk another path and change the scenery. I really will not fall in love with anyone other than Gu Lingqing. For 10 years, 20 years, for the rest of my life, I will only love him. You can meet someone who loves you. The woman who is willing to give birth to your child because she loves you. You'll be happy, Baya said sincerely. She actually wanted to let go of everything and live with Gu Lingqing in paradise. She didn't want to think about hatred and live a free life. But if Gu Lingqing wanted to take revenge, then she could only accompany him. She didn't want to hurt anyone, but for the person she loved, she could hurt anyone. This kind of Baya must be very contradictory. The 5 cars behind them caught up, and there were many cars in front of them. All of a sudden, the road was blocked. In the sky, the sound of the engine of the plane was getting closer. The car in the back was Xingbuhua's, the car in the middle was Jiran's, and the car in front was Cold. Jiran knew that she was leaving. I'll contact you again. She said what she needed to say and nodded. Her phone rang. She saw that it was Su Changha's call. Her heart skipped a beat, and she answered it apologetically. Junior sister, tell me, how many times have you stood me up? It's fine if you stood me up, but where's your phone? You didn't even call me. Is this how sincere you are? Su Changha said helplessly. I'm sorry, senior brother. Something happened here. I'm really sorry. Where are you now? Send me your location, and I'll go over immediately. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, Baya said. Too many things had happened recently, and it was too sudden. She had forgotten about meeting Su Changha. I'll give you one last chance. If you don't come, I'll go back to America, Su Changha said, pretending to be angry. Yes, I'll remember. Send me your location. Su Changha hung up. Su Jiran was worried. That senior brother of yours, is he in a good mental state? No, isn't Zhou Hailan locked up in St. Treasure Orchid Mental Hospital? I'll let my senior brother in so that he can contact Zhou Hailan and see if he can break through Zhou Hailan's side. Actually, she listens to you. You just need to say the word, and she'll do as you say, Baya expressed. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.